Hello, hello. We are back to watch some more Overwatch World Cup. That's what I'm talking about. So, we're on APAC Group B at the moment, and the first match that we're having is New Zealand and India, as you see right here. Super excited to show this to y'all. It's going to be awesome.
Definitely going to be wanting to take a win today. Australia versus Singapore, as you have mentioned, Avril, potentially an easy matchup for Australia. And then we have finishing us off with Malaysia versus Thailand.
This is quite an interesting
I have to
day,
pull up more
overall.
tabs.
Obviously, that first match is kind of the main fight on the card, right? That's two of the teams that were saying sort of in that top four. New Zealand began their recovery yesterday after dropping on day one to Thailand. Thailand, who have in turn lost to Australia. So this is a very a sort of big must-win for New Zealand. If they lose this one, then you'd say, well, they're in the top four, but they're number four, which isn't good enough, right? India, on the other hand, they had a solid start yesterday. A reasonably expected win, but nice to see them kind of stay the course. So this is where they're looking for a really solid follow-up.
Okay, I'm pulling up chat and everything now.
Can win their match day as well, which you'd imagine they can. India would actually still be holding parity with Australia in terms of their overall win record. So that's a really important kind of beat there. The other one I kind of want to highlight is right towards the end there, Malaysia versus Thailand. That's an upset potential. It's an outside chance, but all these good things I've just been saying about Thailand, their solid performance against Australia.
Let's see chat.
Upset here, a lot of that hard work gets undone. So again, it's a real stay the course kind of day for a lot of these teams.
For all the top four teams, right, they really can't afford to lose to anybody else. And if you're New Zealand, as you mentioned, you've already lost to Thailand. Losing to India would probably, at least in terms of trying to get out of the group, put a nail in the coffin. Let's go ahead and take a look at Team New Zealand. This is a team that currently sitting at a 1-1 scoreline, perfect 2-2 in terms of map differential as well. So they're 1-2-0, they lose 2-0.
All right, here we go. Colorx is a really good player. August is also a really good player. I know those two.
Sort of speak towards, you know, they've been able to beat the teams they're supposed to beat, and unfortunately they've also lost a little bit handily to the teams that they lost to as well.
And I mean, it's interesting, right? That that map differential. This is actually
they can do this, chat.
A tournament where that could matter quite a lot. Right now on the standings, India is only above Australia because
there were lots of dropped frames in the beginning, by the way, because I was still uploading a video.
The map differential is only 1.
Whenever I started stream, but I ended it, so it should be better now.
If we get any kind of triangular win-losses, right? You know, if we get something where, I don't know, Thailand beats New Zealand, New Zealand beats India, India beats Thailand. Map differential is going to start matter because those are the teams that are fighting for one of those top 2 spots. So picking up 2-0s ends up.
The volume on the different regions are like different.
Want to see in this matchup,
straight up.
The team, whoever wins it, they really want it to be a 2-0, just in case you end up in a triangle.
Let's take a look at Team India now that New Zealand will be having to verse.
Fuck, my snacks are way off.
They had a very good performance.
Team India is gonna be good, chat.
They are a team, you know, that is up for the challenge here and could potentially make our top 4 at the end of the day. So a very strong lineup here.
Chat, I got myself some Takis.
And both teams, I can imagine, are really going to want this win today.
Let's go. We're set up for the games. We're set up for the games.
Any other thoughts on Team India?
Do you think Captain Pressure
very
is
strong? I think this is a team that, you know, we've highlighted at the beginning, but now is now starting to prove their worth. A team that's very well put together. Everyone's got contenders experience, and a team that's, I think, taking.
Everyone's got contenders experience. Holy shit, let's go.
Very seriously,
Big for Team India. Yeah, they're in Canada now, by the way. I think he said that.
Putting a lot into it, and let's take a look at the first map of today. It will be a control map as always, and we'll be going to beautiful Ilios to start us off here today. We have seen this map already.
I'm playing it at max volume right now.
No surprises here. A good one to start on control as always.
And of course, it's loser picks subsequently and first to 2. We've sort of gone over the format already, but. We've actually seen that really matter quite a lot because it's so tight with that first to 2 situation. Having that map pick on the second one, if you've lost, is actually a big way you can start to turn things back around. We've a couple of times seen that picking team, you know, in these closer matchups, win that second map, take us to a draw situation. We saw Thailand do it against Australia. I'm trying to rack my brain. It was, I believe, Singapore, Malaysia first day. We also saw it. And when we talk about map differential, that really starts to add up.
All right, well, let's get into it
All right.
now. We head over to Ilios as the players are ready, and I'll leave you over with the fantastic Pixie and Avril to guide you guys through.
Is it gonna be well first?
It's gonna be another Cartex Echo map, I'm afraid. So, see how Team India fares against that. Hex, who had a pretty good Echo performance on day
Well,
one
always calls
versus
for interesting
Thailand.
playing.
We'll remember fondly the Numbani map that he played. So it comes as a no surprise. Team India looking over towards pretty standard Lucio Mora through with the Ram as well. New Zealand playing the
This is gonna be a
dive,
close
India playing
match.
The rush. Ilios probably a little bit more dive favored.
Oh god.
Do you think Abs has abs? Do you think
Okay, we're good.
Par is
The
gonna go-
automatic braking system.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's every time you tap your brake pedal, your brakes break immediately.
exactly.
Pretty standard setup here. Hex looking to utilize the height advantage as India kind of cowering in this smaller room, confined space. Captain Crash gets picked off around the side. And really nice wrap.
Big for New Zealand already.
Ash taking a lot of heat as well. Hex able to pick him up with the bombs. Very nice open from New Zealand. Super clean.
Oh, Lord. How'd they let that happen?
Hex can get back to this team quite fast.
A decent punish from Iron Man, but now going to start seeing some changes come through. Would be surprised to see the Tracer on top of the fact that Akash has already gone towards the Winston. I just need to probably get rid of the Moira as well. You'll start to look towards a proper dive composition for India as well. They got wrapped around very quickly, as mentioned. Hex had the high ground, played the off angle to perfection. Hacked out, but it's okay.
What is up with the audio on stream? They're just fucking it up.
Taking their time for now. JCat pretty comfortably holding down the fort. Iron Man is kind of feathering on it, making sure that New Zealand have to keep boots on the point lest they get it stolen out from under them. So kind of forcing the issue. Pummy a little bit low, has to back out around the side, find a health pack, and the continued harassment here between Iron Man and Pummy. They're not quite making the headway they want. Hack onto JCat. No one really there to follow it up, but Hex goes down. Pummy finally finds his mark. And that was quite close to a duplicate as well. Pulse bomb from Par going wide. Could have been a good recovery tool for New Zealand, but at this point, JCat getting forced away.
Big nano.
Going back into the thick of it, feeling himself with the nano boost at his back. Nearly has a self-destruct. That'll make a lot of space.
Oh lord, Tracer was one.
Actually go the way of India. Hex is back in the mix now though, so the fight just kind of continues.
And no long-range healing to keep Hex alive, and that ends up being what causes New Zealand to lose the point. Jacob tries to hold on. Now comes the EMP. It's only the catch or defend, but it is a kill. August confirm their point capture 20% plus.
Yeah, that was a really important one because that first little bit, they'd sort of got the kill on Hex, they got enough positioning, they were able to get the point, but they hadn't really closed the door on the fight. So getting that follow-up there is really important. That'll maybe help them even up this percentage as well.
All lessons.
India's going some freaky shit.
From Abs as see if that means they want to do a very deep dive. Akash already onto Primal as well, so they can certainly afford to play super aggressively here. Straight on top of Hex and JCat.
Abs having a wrap around, find his tank, keep everybody topped off. Ooh, Iron Man picked up by Hex. Bit of a tough beat there for India. New Zealand now have a lot of priority.
Oh my god.
Forward pulse bomb does go. Oh no, it's still
Straight for the DPSing on Nicole.
Captain Crash, I think he backed up into that hitbox. A little unfortunate.
That's something you can do with this tank lineup and everything.
Moira, not sure if that was on purpose. Hasn't quite got himself a coalescence either, unfortunately. A cash low as to back out despite the primal rage running, and now the extra damage coming out from Hex back in the regular Echo form. Still haven't quite got the point cap. It's a real protracted one as JCap actually gets its team X goes down. India managed to reset. They've got
this feels like a stalemate.
And New Zealand's a little bit up the creek.
But India has point.
Ultimates. They have a nano boost, but Par is fully fleeing from Iron Man. Will not survive.
Yeah.
90% now. Fight territory. India hold on throughout the whole thing.
Ooh. 5v4 for New Zealand as well, but they're just losing everybody. This is going wayward very quickly for New Zealand. EMP to finish things off. Hex barely holding on to life, and it's only JCat remaining now with the self-destruct, which she'll have to use, but it probably won't be enough.
It's just to try and create some space on the point. It has to go trade his own life for it, unfortunately, and bit of an unmitigated disaster there for New Zealand. Colorhex finding the 1 kill with JCap coming back in meant there was an outside chance of them holding on, but with him going down shortly thereafter, they're just too lean at any given time at the point. Colorhex going in for a
Oh, damn, big boot!
Off the well.
Finn!
Finn does go down, still trades his own life away. August down as well, so no support. Skullhex not quite getting that EMP. JCap back in on a Doomfist. They're just struggling to keep any members on this point, not picking up the kills. Frit and India will walk away with the first point.
Team India's looking strong.
After they flip the point, got Colorhex down, push New Zealand off, never let go of the point again, and that was even despite, I think, a little...
They're looking strong.
Follow-up fight where they wanted
New Zealand ain't bad, though.
You see Akash and Abs very far
New Zealand ain't bad. They looked like they were really even on those fights. New Zealand was just like, they would just eventually lose it in the prolonged fights.
Sideways pulse burn from Par on top of like the pillar. Beyond that 4v5, they come through big time. I mean, Coalescence...
New Zealand had the damage. I'm surprised that they weren't able to find the kills, but I think that
4v5
having the Mercy on Colorhex is going to help them a lot now.
Couldn't quite collect any kills. I think they lost a lot of damage output once Colorhex went over towards them.
Not to mention this comp is going to help them a lot against India's comp.
To continue now, moving forward. Slow start onto Ilios, giving away 50%.
They're going to be able to do so much damage to India here. I can see it working, chat. I can see it working.
India taking their time on this rotation.
Trying to hide their composition until point opens. At this point, if you're New Zealand, you know something sneaky is happening, and once you confirm the composition, everyone TP's on the point. And now New Zealand have to sort of play on the outskirts a little. That gets harder once Pyre is down.
That's just a clean headshot from...
They banked on point control a little too much.
And now locked out of the point. Colorhex not able to get a whole lot of damage in, trying to sort of nick around the sides. Not finding much. Teleported down again. India, the rotation works out for them, getting Iron Man low, but not able to finish him off, and having a bit of a hard time approaching this point. You don't want to get too up close and personal. They keep putting that side teleporter up that sort of draws New Zealand's attention away.
All New Zealand needs is that pick,
You need to see August land a
which they can super get.
A few ways you can buy yourself into the point outside of ultimates. Colorhex nearly has an ult here, and possibly I think an ult onto a card.
Big anti?
Would be a play. There's the fire we've been looking for.
Yeah, Immortality Field immediately gets deployed, and Colorhex in going in trying to follow.
Come on now.
Finds himself just pummeled with damage. They've got all those Symmetra turrets set up on the interior now. Another nice fire nade, but it's right as J-Cup's having to back out as well. August might just get run down here if he's not careful. Able to retreat back to his Diva. Just not making any headway.
Smart on India not to chase. Smart on India not to chase.
Shoot inwards. You need to sort of pressure off angles. It's one of the few ways you can get yourself onto the point. Time is slowly running out here as well. Nano is one way to play through. It's going to have to be a Nano on the J-Cap, and I think Colorhex again needs to be able to find this copy onto the Rhine, or at least onto the Mei.
Yeah.
Force their way into the point.
Or, I mean, if they've got...
Colorhex is doing a good job with their stickies.
Creates some space, and there it is. They're going to try and use that one. Pummy is out in the middle, but protects himself with the light wall, though. Beautifully timed, and now charging forwards. Whew, Akash really dusting close to the edge.
They lost Finn, that's bad.
Finn, however, can't raise himself, but Colorhex duplicating the Mei.
Colorhex is gonna have Blizzard.
That's good. Here we go. There's the duplicated.
Oh my god, that's massive.
A lot of control over this point. They've found a lot of frozen members. It's only Colorhex here finishing them off, but he will be able to get them forced out of the duplicate.
Oh my god, big Blizzard.
So in New Zealand, finally.
That's what they needed. They're gonna have to keep this point for forever now. New Zealand swapping it up though.
For so long, for India, it's an opening sort of.
I mean, not New Zealand. India swapping it up.
They'll just throw away all these ultimates now because well, there's no point replaying the composition.
Honestly, good comp against New Zealand.
They just got themselves a free 96.
I think New Zealand's gonna have so much trouble here. There you go.
And India only have to win one fight.
Maybe we can go for the res.
Not a comfortable position for New Zealand to be in.
Got the res off. Big.
Abs does go down though. That keeps it interesting. New Zealand still in for a chance.
Good job. New Zealand keeping that together was really good.
Not a lot of pickups, but
I'm surprised that they were able to do it, honestly. India was looking really strong there in the middle of the fight, but that res was massive. The res that Finn was able to get off was massive. I'm surprised that Finn was able to get that res off, honestly.
Really affect the point and play a little bit counter to Iron Man and Pummy, at least mark them. India can wait for ultimates here, the EMP being the big one. The time to play through. Again, they have the massive lead.
Abs a little on the low side, but is otherwise fine. Colorhex playing in a
Oh, Lord.
D-Mac on JCap, forced to use the self-destruct and isn't quite able to use it on the point. Still finds Pummy with it though. A little bit of an error.
Finn keeps dying, but it's alright, because Colorhex keeps putting out that damage. See, Colorhex was in Overwatch League for a bit. Granted, Colorhex wasn't one of the... was like... one of the not-so-great players. But, like, this goes to show that even the worst OWL player is just still super good. You know? Not to say that Colorhex is the worst.
Once again, can't sprez yourself. Nanoboost goes on to Colorhex and he hasn't found anything with it just yet. Go ahead and duplicate some.
Use that mostly to loot, to not die. Still alive. Big stuff. The thing that makes this a lot more difficult is not having that mercy in the case of Colorhex.
Doesn't die. Nope, finally goes down out of that mech thanks to the Abs' coalescence. And you see Finn just having a duck and weave around the point, balancing all that damage. Primal Rage bumps August off, coalescence dusts off.
They're doing a good job of stalling it out. New Zealand fell apart though. First map's going to India. New Zealand put up a pretty good fight though. They aren't out of it yet. But Team India is strong.
You could just tell that Team New Zealand had very
Bobby was right.
idea of how they were going to counter the Ryan composition once they got on top of point. They were kind of flustered around their sidelines, waiting for ultimates, waiting for anything. Not a big fan of the Ash pick. I actually think potentially the Tracer is going to be a little bit more important just to get.
It's crazy how much ult charge Colorhex got from that self-healing.
Charge up on the pulse bomb as well, which could be a game changer. It took until Colorhex had the duplicate. They actually had the duplicate.
Absolutely crazy.
Copied the Mei. I said either the Mei or the Ryan needed to be copied there, and the Mei ended up being really good.
Well done to India taking out the first map here.
Yeah, good call on the copy there. That was really good. That ended up turning the entire point for them for a while.
Strong fight here, as pointed out. India maybe just starting off really clean there. New Zealand did have a really strong start on well though. They won the first team fight. Their positioning was really good and they opened it up cleanly. But India just made the changes that they needed to counter their composition. So well done to India on that one. Any other thoughts on the map we've just seen there?
It's competitive for sure, but yeah, real solid opener within from India. You can't argue with that. New Zealand, they, as I sort of said before, you know, because they go in with the next map pick, and that was relatively close, at least in some areas. There's still a bit of hope for them in this particular series. It's going to be a bit of a tough turnaround. India are a tough customer.
Not over yet.
And this is a must-win. This is a duel.
Not over yet.
New Zealand. So back against the wall now. I think if they don't win this, they're not getting out of this group. So I'll have to see if they can deliver.
Well, they will have a second chance as they get to pick the map for the next fight. And look, we'll be back, everyone, with a short break, and hopefully New Zealand can bring it back. See you all shortly.
So loud. But yeah, that was really cool. All right, whatever. What's up, dude life? I woke up not that long ago. Now we're watching some Overwatch World Cup. So yeah, that's what's up. Right now we're seeing the New Zealand and India match. Next is going to be Australia and Singapore. So that's going to be sick. India's a really strong team. But New Zealand's been putting up a pretty good fight. I want to see how they're looking in APAC. We're in APAC Group B right now. Oh, damn, New Zealand's already done 2 matches. Yeah, New Zealand's got to win this one. India and Australia both with a dub. Okay. This screen's so much better than the ones they were using before. Did they just make this change? It shows the schedule whenever, like, they're waiting for the next match. It shows the timer. It says what day it is. It's better. It's just better. They should keep this. They should fucking keep this. By the way, it's Sunday, I think, in the time period, in the time zone that they're doing stuff, that these teams are doing stuff in. It is not Sunday for me. It's still Saturday. It's like 11:23 p.m. So. But it's gonna be Sunday soon, so. I'm excited to see what's up with Team Australia. I'm excited to see what's up with Team Australia. Singapore's had a rough go at it, but what if they absolutely ream Australia? You never know, you know? You just never know. There's breaks in the schedule? Overwatch World Cup schedule. Saturday. But yeah, it looks like there's a break from now to the Saudi Arabia and Turkey match. Well, a break from 4 a.m. Oh, wait. There's a break after the Malaysia and Thailand match.
If you're just joining, did you know the World Cup home?
And there's a break between the...
Hurry and get them before they leave.
Well, after the South Korea-Hong Kong match. Okay.
APAC and AMER bundles. You get both the home and away skins for all the heroes in the bundles. These bundles support the teams directly by contributing to the World Cup
They
prize
do.
pool. Shop
They do.
now on Battle.net or the Overwatch 2 in-game shop. Learn more at overwatchworldcup.com. Now, if you are also just joining, we have just had India versus New Zealand on Lighthouse, and India did take it out 2-0.
On all Ilios, really. Lighthouse and well included.
There's sparks of hope for New Zealand, chat. They can win this still.
I think on well, where New Zealand start at 54%, as you can see here, but the rest of the entire point goes the way of India. Once India starts to really come through strong on their Winston composition, note again that they started on a Ram Lucio Moira comp here, and they changed the DPS line, they changed the tank, actually kept the supports going the entire way through, even though I thought maybe the supports could have used the change as well. They kept the pacing high. And once they played the dive composition into New Zealand, they had basically locked up well, really comfortably. I think when Color Hex stuff definitely goes down on this team, New Zealand starts to fall apart a little bit. And
that was such a massive copy.
There,
really crazy play.
Most notably, we'll notice that it's Color Hex in the driver's seat as well. So definitely the linchpin for the team, which is a good thing and probably also a bad thing, considering that I think the rest of New Zealand needs to be able to step up around Color Hex instead of being incredibly reliant on Color Hex to mostly carry the weight of the team.
Yeah, Color Hex is quite a key player there. He does have a lot of experience as well, obviously previously playing for Overwatch League and things like that. So
yeah, he was a part of a Boston Uprising, I think, before.
To the team, but look, New Zealand do have a second chance here as they get to pick the next map that we will go into. So let's take a look. They can choose from an escort.
They do rely super heavily on Color Hex.
Chosen Circuit Royale.
Circuit Royale.
Map we've seen a lot of.
That makes a lot of sense, especially since they want Color Hex to pop off.
High positioning and angles, a lot of Widowmakers, a lot of Sigmas, and I presume we'll see exactly the same thing when we go into this map here.
Yeah, one assumes so, and well, it's New Zealand's pick, so they're quite clearly signaling that they do feel that the DPS play they have can outclass India's here on those more sniper-oriented picks. I think that's a reasonable call to make. We were just kind of talking about.
I definitely think that Color Hex is going to do better here.
Relying on Color Hex is the right term, but certainly very dependent on Color Hex's overall play. And this is the kind of map where, you know, if Color Hex just kind of pulls it out, the team can coast a little bit on those coattails. We'll have to see if it pans out.
There's nothing that he can play on this map to really carry, though. The Hanzo will be the option, but he's not really a Widowmaker player. That'll have to come down to par. I think the Sojin is a possible pick, but again, not something that Colorhex has been known for in the past. So,
but Hanzo's still really good.
At least that's a good news for JCap. That's been his primary hero.
Still super much carryable.
So, going over towards a Sigma map, definitely going to be a strong point. But, you know, expecting that Matrix gets subbed in again, which is what happened with India yesterday. India still looked pretty strong.
Well, as we head over to Circuit Royale, let's give a shout out to Macca's. You can grab a McFeast lunch deal now for $5.95.
They're advertising McDonald's so much.
If only I had $5.95.
If only I had $5.95.
What you missing? The entire thing?
No! The audio, what the fuck? Why does it do that? That's not my fault, is it?
New Zealand dollars, not Australian dollars. So I currently have zero. I have 20 Australian cents.
So you can have 5 cents and change, which I'm sure you could use to great effect.
I don't think Australia still does a 5-cent coin.
Okay, I'm not the only one that it's happening to.
And pile on the Sojin, alright? That does make sense. Neither of the players really know.
Looking at the fucking the floaty.
We saw yesterday, we're
holy shit.
More of the Sojins being effective on this map with the Widowmaker range nerf. Sojin in particular and more effectively duel the Widowmaker on these sight lines. Still not perfect. The Widowmaker will still outrange you, but not as harshly as she used to on previous patches. And India will with the exact same comp on the opposite end.
So
Par on the Sojourn. Okay, so they got double Sojourn and then they're running the Hanzo other than that.
It's probably good for New Zealand because I was a little concerned maybe that they would end up on the wrong side of a Widowmaker duel. Notably that Matrix isn't playing today, so Iron Man's staying in.
Cash was a real kind of jewel in the crown as well across Ilios, so as you mentioned, JCap getting to play his Sigma. We'll be happy to see that mirror matchup as well.
Hit one of those right clicks, come on! No! No! Yes. Another support. Chat, we're seeing more support. We're seeing some more support gameplay. More support and tank gameplay, chat. They listen to my tweet. They listen to my tweet.
But they were already having to cede some ground there, New Zealand, and try and play around this corner, losing JCap.
Maybe that's all of the support and DPS. Maybe that's all the support and tank gameplay we get to see for the rest of the match.
And for New Zealand, it's going to be pretty bad news. JCap is too.
New Zealand's giving them so much space. They're backing up so much.
Yeah, one death. Yeah. What's the point?
I mean,
they're not really doing much pressure.
Kind of keep the pressure out and keep playing the duel, maybe find a pick. But without the Sigma there, without the tank,
they're not really giving much pressure to India. They need to keep color hex up.
For New Zealand, they've got a long defense ahead of them now. 5 minutes on the clock for India.
Yeah, I mean, India is pushing up very comfortably at the moment, looking over towards support ultimates. August does lead, and I'll speak to the fact that New Zealand has taken a bit more damage. Pummy,
oh lord,
has to be saved by a lamp.
Pummy dead.
Not good enough. Nope, Storm Arrow will comfortably get rid of both the immortality.
Section themselves off a little too much, and yeah, India just crumbles because of that. Holy shit! Let's go! Let's go! Epic support kill! Chat, we're finally seeing support gameplay.
That's what New Zealand want. Mistake from India. Allow New Zealand to be able to capitalize, reset India a little bit, because otherwise I think India were on a roll. Starting to head over towards ultimates. Good momentum up the hill. New Zealand have equalize.
Okay.
Oh lord.
Flux will catch one.
On a cash. They didn't even deploy the immortality fields. They were comfortable. They were confident that a cash wasn't going to go down. Now he deploys his own flux. 3 members caught.
Big flux.
Dead in the air. The rest do land down inside an immortality field, but it's quickly dispatched off. No trades here. No counters for New Zealand. Obviously losing August means no window.
Okay, they got Pummy.
That's a really important pickup. Takes a lot of pressure off.
They need to keep Finn up. Finn's dead.
They lose Finn. A cash able to thread through, get right up in the grill, and
yeah, Finn just got sectioned off there.
Oh,
they're going for it. Par's going for it.
Started to come into his own now with that overclock. Looking for a cash now.
Big.
Good contest That was a real knife-edge situation for New
Okay,
Zealand. They were able to
good
stay
job on New Zealand.
calmly.
Really good job with their positioning there whenever they lost their supports.
Because he was looking for that kill onto the
They knew they could win that fight with the window overclock. And, well, they did. They used it. But now they don't have any ults as opposed to India where they have 2. India can do a lot here. But it is worth because they're still getting time off that bank, and a good amount of time off that bank as well.
At the initial flux, the 3-man flux from Akash, which was really nice to see. 3 minutes left now of what I believe was a 5 or so minute time bank, so 2 out of those minutes gone.
Which is a good start, but still a lot of time on the clock. 3 minutes would be plenty enough to cap B in its entirety. So there's still a lot of work to be done for New Zealand, and now very lean on ultimates. India.
Oh lord.
With the overclock from
Hex almost got caught up there.
Shots down the long range.
Pummy's not hitting anything.
Yeah, Dragon striking across from Iron Man, splits up the team. Immortality field there to keep JCap and Color Hicks safe. Color Hicks still low, same with JCap. Nearly has a flux though, looking to be using that soon. That's Immortality field used already for Captain Prash. That could present an opportunity for JCap. It's not going to be there for them. And there
goodbye, Bat.
Catch Captain Prash, drops him down. That's a kill.
New Zealand gets this.
New Zealand continuing the defense, surviving those ultimates from India. And
New Zealand feels like practiced on this map.
really well.
They know where to go. They have answers for things, right?
They will push really far back.
They have plan Bs and everything.
Few members over towards the spawn side.
It's looking real good.
Towards the left-hand side from attacker POV, and stuck in a corner. He just had the shield up under the kinetic grasp.
It's looking real good.
It really was the kinetic flux. I mean, if it wasn't for that, things were looking pretty poor for New Zealand, but good catch results in a kill. India reset once more. Time is becoming a real factor. New Zealand have found their bastion of defense, and B so far has gone well. Taylor is very pushed up though, so New Zealand can't afford any mistakes there.
Yeah, and well, so far they have not made any in the course of this B defense. Well, maybe that's not quite fair to say, but certainly they've continued to hold true, and here we go. Big one. There we go. They all land down in the Immortality field. Gets quickly
Nice
taken
E-mort,
out.
ends up dying, but
Slow, but not finished off. Color Hex as well now dead. Not able to
it's not over yet.
Cash is getting right up in everyone's face.
Finn's gonna have trans soon.
And they just can't. He's got too much help at his back. Finn.
There we go. Trans up. Ooh. JCap's still taking so much damage. Yeah, that only lasted for so long.
And I had to say, there was a beat there where if
a lot of time off the bank though.
Maybe could have turned it back around, but just weren't able to finish him off, and they were so focused on him. Akash had free reign through the fight.
That was just a change in pacing from India. They swap over towards Genji most notably, but also the Tracer there for.
I think if they were to bring it all the way to the other side, I think they would get it at like 130-ish, 140-ish. So that's already good time to work with on the
window. They got
for New Zealand.
By Akash. The flux was already back on 63% by the way, and now Iron Man's going to stay on this Genji, play through the blade. We'll see if that ends up being any effective at all. He's still not in an amazing spot on this current patch.
No major defensive tools for New Zealand though, so if Iron Man can pick up one and get out with his life, that will be a reasonable start. The cart starting to
Our man's in a bit of a weird spot right now.
This could easily go either way, and with Par finding out Pummy, it's a slowdown that New Zealand sorely need.
Color Hex needs to hit those shots.
Through now.
Oh, it got eaten.
Tried to go in for it. Has to pull the blade out now. Took an accretion on the way in. Yeah,
big flux.
Immediately. Meanwhile, the rest of India has just been smacked.
Oh damn.
I think Iron Man might
it looked like the flux ended up getting that Genji, but
no swap to come on through, so he'll continue going through on the Genji here. That's the way you really do suffer in the long range battles. Hanzo, Sojin together is
New Zealand's doing really good here.
For India, I think, to deal with, especially given the amount of time left to play through.
I like what I'm seeing. Once I saw like who was in the teams and everything, and I researched them a little bit, I knew this was going to be a competitive match.
That what they need is picks to stall things out. Now with another one on Pummy, this is actually approaching a bit of a dangerous spot for India if they want to complete this cap.
They should get a Akash. They should get a Akash as well.
They can, and there's no way big news. They need to not overextend.
Oh, Color Hex, be careful.
Pressured. They've lost the Immortality field, but Akash knocking around the corner in cover. JCap doesn't want to go too far. Getting aggressive.
Color Hex has been able to do a good job of like managing his health and making sure he doesn't die. Right as I say that, not much he could really do there though.
JCap pulling out of there, and now they
After a certain point, he just dies. Okay, they're guaranteed OT now.
It's a bit of a bad start for New Zealand. Overclock running up from Par, needs to find a lot, only finds one. Traces his own life. Finn down.
Damn, I was hoping Finn could get somebody.
Still has a flux available.
That's good. They're in OT.
New Zealand have the spawns coming out soon, but JCap is about to be back in base.
Oh no, they got rid of.
What can he find with it?
Oh, big! Correx jumping into the immortality. What's up, Taco? We're watching New Zealand versus India.
Not even able to come out and contest the card, and I think that's going to just about seal it for India. And that was a little bit odd for
most of the Indian team members, by the way, are like
the whole thing unravels from there.
They have like dual citizenship, and most of them are like American, like they grew up in America and stuff. I was looking it up.
Because they failed to clean up the last 3 members. It shouldn't be that difficult, realistically. Akash is already half HP.
Yeah.
He's under a lot of duress.
But you know, hey, they're representing India. Go for it, right? You're a citizen of India. Why not?
Being overcommitted. They wouldn't have been overcommitted if they had secured the kill, or if they just let Akash go. But the high.
And they're in Canada right now.
Then clean up the rest of the 3.
They're in Canada, doing their thing, practicing and all that stuff.
As the team India respawns and rejoin the team, and then suddenly New Zealand starts falling apart because their players are kind of all over the place, which would have been fine again if they managed to get the kill and end up just getting snowballed. A couple of times that New Zealand have lost in the areas of this map were due to snowballs. That was looking like a very clean defense on C up until that final moment.
And it's a little bit unfortunate because if you look back across how that whole map worked out, essentially non-existent defense on A. They took 1 loss on.
You were thinking it would be really cool if each player also had their own stream.
Had to completely abandon the A point. Had a
so you could pick which player you want to watch, or just watch it like this. Yeah.
From what happened on A.
So a lot of players are streaming their POV.
Defense and almost did everything they needed to. They fell.
I think you're not allowed.
Now they have to
I don't think you're allowed to stream it if you're in Overwatch League, but if you're not in Overwatch League, you're allowed to stream it. Like if you're not currently in Overwatch League, you're allowed to stream it.
Yeah, I think that would be correct.
Oh.
Jacob does get Iron Man traded for his own life though, so he will say that this is still good for New Zealand. They
some weird rule thing.
India are very much playing experimentally here with the Rhine composition. Not normal.
But yeah, there are some players who are streaming it. I just don't want to watch those. I want to sit here and watch this because I don't know if I'm allowed to like watch those. Is the thing. I know for sure I'm allowed to watch this, but I'm not allowed to watch other things. When will I be in Overwatch League? I'm not gonna be in Overwatch League probably ever.
Situation for India to be in. New Zealand need a quick push through here as well. Obviously, unlikely that they get something quite as quick as what India got on A, but we'll have to see. Trying to send the Ryan back behind the team, but that just leaves half the team high and dry. Akash ends up having to charge to get back with everyone. Trying to deal with some of those structures, the ice wall going up. Iron Man taking another big hit there, able to go cold and survive, but no more immortality field here though, so Ab's ducking for cover. India just taking a huge amount of pressure, but crucially, New Zealand's not actually getting killed.
If I try really hard, I might make the Mario Kart League. Yeah. You know, Taco, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think there's much of a career behind that one.
And now the rest of the dice for India start rolling through. All the pieces of the puzzle break apart as New Zealand pretty comfortably pushed.
Also, I honestly think I'm better at Overwatch than Mario Kart.
Ideal, but respawn's still close enough. Looks like India might still retain the composition. I mean, they're probably just too heavily bought in now, given that they have ultimates coming online.
New Zealand's DPS lineup is crazy.
Just not playing the correct comp for the defense. They took a massive gamble. I think that gamble is starting to go.
Par already like has overclock.
Certainly not paying off, and all right, light wall getting deployed.
Oh lord.
Advances the point. Here we go.
There goes a cash. There goes the rest of the team.
The ability you'd usually expect, but hey, there it is. They've already dealt with the immortality field, just pressuring India back the ice wall to try and.
Oh, he gotta be careful. JCap almost died. Holy shit.
Iron Man teleport play. Not sure what Pummy was looking for with that one. Certainly distracted New Zealand.
They're fighting this. Goodbye, Lucio.
Charging back in, but wasn't there when that sound barrier came in. So they're already one support short, now losing a cash again. It is stalling out the cap just that little bit longer, so credit where it's due for India, but that was a protracted loss, and it let New Zealand charge up on ultimates. They didn't have to use anything that entire exchange.
And now India will finally make the swap happen. I mean, it was inevitable. They were always going to.
New Zealand is looking real sexy on this map, but they did lose the first one pretty. Not terribly, but pretty badly. They lost the first one. They lost the first one 2-0.
You're not really making the swap then because too many players are.
And it was like a control map.
By the time they found that full reset,
Big jump. Okay, they need to kill the Sig.
Straight out, it forces a cash and Captain.
Oh, they were all able to get across.
Kinda
Okay.
stuck there, had to put the immortality field down. They are alive, obviously, and the team's able to regroup around them a bit, but New Zealand has taken a lot of ground here.
They're gonna get outranged here as well.
Oh lord, Color Hex gotta be careful.
Gotta struggle at least a little bit. Fast turn to play the ultimates.
Very nice immortality field, keeping everyone alive as Iron Man was getting aggressive. Means he can't get those dash resets.
Big.
With the overclock on an absolute tear. Very comfortable find there.
The overclock is such an oppressive ult. Even though Par didn't hit all of the shots and all of the killing blows there, like, Par forced them back so much.
I mean, this is still just India reeling from the decisions of earlier on. They're getting snowballed from the Rhine comp they played earlier because they didn't get to play for A realistically at all. Now they're behind in ultimates because they had a late swap onto their desired comp for B. And as I already mentioned, the Iron Ash swap into the Genji, that's more of a C point swap. So they had already basically, at least on some level, conceded. B is looking pretty hard here. Swap over
Taco, who do you want to win here? Are you a Team India fan or are you a Team New Zealand fan?
They just have to finish.
Fantastic overall. India currently.
I always think of
their actions. And bit of free push around the side going in for the
what's his
dash.
name?
Ooh, Iron Man didn't find it on the dash, but he still managed to find it on a quick melee, and they found Par.
The guy who did the Lord of the Rings films and is now known for like his like his black and white to color things that he does now. Like he'll restore footage and make it colorized. Is it Peter Jackson? It's something Jackson, I know for sure. The director. Taco, you would know. He also did like Dead Alive, Meet the Feebles. Like there's tons of his earlier stuff that he does, but it's lesser known.
And Jacob not ulting, that means New Zealand just want to exit, but Color Hex already used dash.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a few times where Color Hex has kind of.
It's also called Brain Dead, the movie. That movie's so good.
He had nowhere to run there.
Yeah,
Meet the Feebles is one of the most disturbing movies I've ever fucking seen. But anyway, that's always who I think of whenever I hear about New Zealand. Never a Team India fan, not after what they did to PewDiePie. Okay, but the shit that PewDiePie... Listen, I'm not gonna defend PewDiePie. That's all I'm gonna say.
Again, retained a number of ultimates, but they're not actually getting opportunities to play through them.
Your favorite UFC fighters from New Zealand? Okay. Fair enough. But also, what is his name? The director? Is it Peter Jackson?
And he needs to stop self-staggering here.
He's from New Zealand.
Maybe he will for now.
Okay,
Trance has to come through.
They've managed to turn the tide just a smidge by finding abs, and now Color Hex getting aggressive.
New Zealand went so far in.
Has to pop an overclock to make a
Par died, but took down some.
Sorry, I say anything else. They did use the Transcendence, obviously, but JCap has again preserved the grab.
That's crazy. Oh, it was Team India that went far.
Running away and gets away with it, I suppose. I thought he was going to die there for sure, but
like it.
They'll get away from it. I actually think for India, they should have just overcommitted onto Jacob, at least secure that kill, then 5v4 later on. They kind of got altered as a couple members went after JCap. New Zealand then ult out of spawn, and now New Zealand have recovered their situation. They were at risk of being spawn camped.
They're threatening a cap, and they've got the ultimates to back it up. This flux is going to be so important. It's been about 3 fights in a row where he's not actually...
There you go, force the Sig down.
Down too early, or the team's just not been in a position to commit. Goes for it, finds a cache. They don't have great sidelines to him, though. Immortality field has been committed already from India.
Good usage of cover on the part of Team India there.
Taking their time. This is a real touch-and-go fight. They cannot afford to have anyone get picked off. Color Hex looking for an angle on the blade. Has found himself Iron Man. Doesn't want to let himself get too low, though. Still looking for entry around the side.
Yeah, I was just talking about Brain Dead Dark Taco. That movie's so good. It's like foul in all the good ways. Have you ever seen Meet the Feebles? If you ever want to see Meet the Feebles, it's free on YouTube.
One man down, 20 seconds
But Meet the Feebles is one of the most disgusting movies I've ever seen. I hate watching that movie. It's like, the way that the camera's moving, all of the puppets in it, it's just disgusting. It's foul. Like, that movie made me so uncomfortable watching it. So, if you ever want to watch Meet the Feebles, just be prepared for that, because it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, he maybe just needs to straight up.
But yeah, I know he's from New Zealand. I was just wondering what his name was. So is his name Peter Jackson? Because I was pretty sure that it was Peter Jackson. I know it's something Jackson. I get him confused with, like, I don't know, some fucking novel series that had something Jackson as the name. So that's why I never know which name is which. Alright, they both got it in OT.
They just need to deal with Abs, keep him off the cart for a fraction of a second.
They both got it in OT. Even playing field here, chat. Even playing field. Winnable on both sides.
Man, that was so whack. I mean, New Zealand ended up losing Color Hex again. No Blade to come on through. And Finn saves the day. What a two-piece from Finn to secure it for
Lots of growing in Peter Jackson's career if you see, like, his earlier movies moving forward. He was always the special effects guy, but whenever he was doing those practical effects with, like, Brain Dead and Meet the Feebles and stuff, he did some really impressive things.
India were looking like they were going to hold that, win 2 maps, but New Zealand have rescued it.
I mean, obviously he did really impressive and groundbreaking things with, like, the Lord of the Rings movies, obviously, but, like, I'm talking about even with just practical effects alone. He did some really awesome things in his earlier movies.
Choosing to go for the Ryan spawn camp, and
I still need to watch Cannibal also. Pause. Percy Jackson? Okay. So his name is Peter Jackson then.
Can't afford to lose anybody in that spawn camp.
Yeah, I was thinking of Percy Jackson. You're right. I always think, like, wait a second, is his name Peter Jackson or is that like the book series?
That's how they lost most of the time on A and B and had to make most of that recovery happen on C, which nearly did happen, but at the end of the day, New Zealand saved the day.
I do need to watch Cannibal Holocaust.
Defense had a pretty disastrous run of things just from JCap getting picked, so if they can have a better run of it this time around, A is where most of the gameplay is going to happen. They need to not have that happen to them twice, for one thing, and they need to really set a precedent
This is where all
here.
the gameplay is likely to happen. And well, getting the attack first, New Zealand defense, and as you mentioned, it was Jacob dying before, but remember Jacob died.
They Shall Not Grow Old was really cool as well. Like the colorized World War I movie he did. That one was sick. Really cool little documentary thing he did.
That's immortality field. JCap, not too much pressure. Yeah, just stuck on some geometry.
Crazy play from India. That's gonna give them so much space. New Zealand's gonna have a rough time coming back from this one. Color Hex needs to not die.
I don't think New Zealand are going to get a contest opportunity.
Too many late deaths. That's 2 extra they can afford. Okay, Jacob can go down. August is, it's not ideal for him to go down. Color Hex can't go down.
Okay, goodbye audio. Yeah, the production hasn't been the greatest in this stream so far. The audio just dies sometimes.
Be in overtime from here on out. That's the one silver lining for New Zealand. So cap or no cap or J cap.
Big pick on the abs.
They can win a fight, and as it happens, they've immediately found abs.
Big pick on the Iron Man
as well. And here we go, looking to collect the last few.
They win this.
Finding a cash, no last minute turnaround on this.
Okay, it's doable. It's doable. I was afraid that the point would get pushed further, but no. Just capped the first point. But I will say that means that New Zealand does have to wait for the point to be still for a bit before they can push it again. So they're gonna have to win 2, maybe 3 fights before being able to win this, which is a lot for a minute.
And for 1 minute, if you can even get an A cap, you've done a lot. You've done most of the legwork there. So the fact that the payload doesn't move further than this is not a bad thing for India. And it's the slow loss on A for New Zealand that haunts them again. Last time
they aren't coming back? What are you talking about, New Zealand? They can come back. Also, you don't think anyone can actually defend PewDiePie? Not even PewDiePie? You just gotta apologize, accept your mistakes, and move to Japan. He barely apologized for what he did, though.
No, this is necessarily better, but it does allow them to have a little bit more.
Like, I don't necessarily trust that he wouldn't make the same mistakes again.
A Ram comp has a little bit more to say in that matchup than a Ryan comp would be. So this is
something that annoys me is like,
not ideal, I have to say.
a lot of big creators, not all, but a lot of big creators will make like a lot of apology videos that feel really
I don't think so.
disingenuous. Like they don't like take time to self-reflect to see exactly why the things they did were wrong, or they just do and don't care.
If they lose a fight here, could be over for them. They'll have to find a contest further on A, but New Zealand also against the clock on the spawn cap.
I will say though, his content has gotten better. I don't necessarily know about him as a person, but his content has definitely gotten much better. So there is that plus. I don't know what the holding close thing just didn't work for India, because they can pop out those both of the doors and everything. Like you can get the snipers out of both of the sides of the point, well, of spawn. That holding close wasn't going to work there.
Well, New Zealand can win this in the GOT as well because they're close to the ultimates. That's the one negative of that loss for India, is this time around they got fully wiped at spawn. Everyone died. Iron Man changes over towards the Genji now. He was the first dead to par, nonetheless. So New Zealand should be able to find ultimates. You'll notice that we're into OT.
Let's all bring out your dog tier up a little bit and blame everything else, then say you're sorry at the end. Yeah. It's like those things like fame really does bring out the worst in people. And after being considered, especially with PewDiePie, like after being considered the front man of YouTube for so long, like it's a little hard to for that person to like not view themselves as like right and a god to some degree, in some way.
New Zealand just couldn't get it done in the overtime.
Unfortunate for New Zealand, but hey, they put up a good fight. They're a good team. That loss was a really big blow to them, though. They had a lot on the line as far as like getting out of this region and everything's concerned. I'm not even sure if they can get out of the region anymore. I think that they're going to have to fight very hard for it at the very least.
They just could not hold on A for either the regulation time or the time bank, instantly losing it. And this is what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, India, they capped A. They don't get any further than B, but they don't need to. Just capping A might be enough to win the map, and indeed it was.
India with a bit of experimentation there as well, having those different comps, holding the spawn doors really close, which didn't pay off for them maybe at first, but in that defense on the fourth time round really worked well for them. So well done on that. It looked close. It looked like maybe that wasn't going to work for them again, and New Zealand was going to actually take that point, but it appears that no, that did work out for them.
But no, Taco, I've seen some instances of big creators being like genuinely sorry for the things that they did and like trying to do better. I've seen that happen before. So I don't want to say all of them, just like it happens, like that is a rare occurrence, is the thing. So, I don't know.
But that means India with a benchmark for New Zealand to clear, not the other way around, and that's quite important for India moving forward. 2-0.
Like, another thing that's rough for, like, internet celebrities is that, like,
is exactly the start they want.
They get the negative, like, internet celebrities get the negatives of being a big celebrity, but they don't get the positives of being a big celebrity. Like, their lives are hella policed. They,
a 2-0 start. They've won both their opening matches.
They have to worry about, like, lots of people talking about them all the time, but they don't necessarily have, they can't really take tons of measures in order to protect themselves from that and people seeing them and various other things.
It's also been, as we kind of said, a death knell for their tournament life. They could still have a bit of a resurrection here. I'm not going to rule it out, but I mean, they've lost.
Doesn't he also do live streams?
What else do they have on the slate here, right? They could pick up a win against Malaysia. I think they should pick up a win against Malaysia. Can they beat Australia? I think that's unlikely. So overall, I think this is the beginning of the end for New Zealand. Bit of a heartbreaker, not gonna lie, but again, my actual takeaway is I have nothing but compliments for India. That's exactly what we wanted to see out of a team that had a very different showing the last time they were able to...
Oh, there goes the audio. I don't love Japan, but I don't know if there's a single country I can say that I love. Do you love Japan, or do you love certain aspects of Japanese culture? Because that's a very big difference. Those are two very different things.
Another win on the board.
I'm feeling great.
Oh, there goes his audio.
Unfortunately, cutting out a little bit for us there, so
Yeah, audio's getting cut a little bit there. Not sure if it's our end or yours.
I liked the look of your answer, though. If I could lip read, then I think that might. Let's try that again.
What's happening with that background? That's cool.
Yeah, we're feeling good. We had a hard week of practice, so it's nice to be able to see that pay off and get the win on ping. So.
And I was actually going to mention, I mean, obviously you guys have been boot camping a whole lot. You're all there playing together, which is obviously a big benefit in general. But you have, as you mentioned, that downside of the ping. So how do you guys feel at this point in the tournament? Do you feel like the boot camping has been paying off? Do you feel like you're getting that little bit of differential just from having everyone in the one place, knowing that you've got your harder matches ahead of you still?
Yeah, we signed up for this. We knew we'd be playing on ping, so it's not an excuse. It's not something to complain about. We're just going to deal with it and play the best we can.
You guys look good so far. A 2-0 start, 4-0 in maps. That last map was probably the one map.
Hopefully so, Taco, but Japan has a fuck ton of problems right now.
Circuit Royale, you guys opted to spawn camp twice, second time with the Remacha. Interested in the decision making on that, and if you felt like that map maybe went a little too close.
Yeah, I think I was negative for most of the map, but that doesn't really matter.
Like, I don't like the U.S., but I would still rather live here than in Japan at the moment.
Spawn hold, we knew the second composition we had more win condition ults, like the Ram ult and Sojourn ult, and we knew that was a better comp, and they would already have a read on the Rhine stuff. So we kind of pulled that out from deep down under. So I'm glad it worked out, and we were able to clutch that last fight.
I've got a quick question as well for you. Obviously, you've had a solid start in this tournament. Now, you currently have the best match record, and that match record can't be beaten today, at least. You're on track to.
They need to figure out this audio problem. It's happening a little too often,
How confident are you?
We're feeling good going into Thailand. We're really excited to play them, and I think we're the team to beat. So.
I think that's a very reasonable take, given your performance just now against New Zealand.
Well, congratulations again on your 2-0 so far, and good luck for the rest of your matches. Thanks so much for your time today, Pummy. Oh, look, we get to see the rest of the team. Hi, everyone.
Yo, what the fuck were their computers?
Oh.
They look like Max.
Well done to them. What a fantastic win. They seem very thrilled, very happy. They're in a fantastic position.
Team India,
I'm
chat.
sure they're going to go and celebrate now. But that's all right. We are moving on to our next
big win for them.
So
Australia and Singapore next.
Versus Singapore, which we have previously speculated that this should be a clean, easy win for Australia. There should be no problems here as far as we can see so far.
Imagine the
I would love to hear what they were saying.
0. You'd still expected Australia to qualify out, but maybe in that second slot rather than the first one.
Well, we'll just have to
Australia is going to beat Singapore here.
Take a short break. We'll be back.
They're going to beat Singapore here. Singapore's not very good. Taco, I wish I could say the same about the US. I feel like there was a point where I could say the same about the US. I mean, I guess I'd be wrong looking at it in hindsight, but like there was a point where the younger generation was like looking like they were really going to change things and make things for the better. But then the internet happened, and a lot of like the big content creators for younger people are around, and they're just all shifting the narrative to a far right perspective in the US. But, it's definitely something. Listen, Taco, okay, so here's what we gotta do. We just gotta buy out the entirety of, alright, we're gonna buy out the entirety of, Oregon, and then we're gonna move all the gay people there. We're gonna move all the queer people there. And we're gonna have, like, our little place that we can seek salvage in and not have to deal with people trying to murder us. there's lots of, like, you know, I said that as in a mostly joking way, right? Because I don't like the idea of sectioning people off from one another. But I honestly think that it's something that a lot of queer people might just have to do out of survival, right? They might have to just, like, pick a place and up and leave, you know? One of these days. There is, like, an amount of realism to that, like, for real. I already get a ton of people screaming at me as a content creator, like, screaming at me because they assume that I'm trans or something, even though I'm not. Oregon's having a rough time right now. Let's pick one of the Dakotas. Nobody even remembers they exist. Wait, Taco. What if we, like... Okay, Taco, listen to me, alright? Hear me out. Alright, this is a bit of a weird pick. But Louisiana. We gotta reclaim it, alright? And we need to save the Gators. We need to save the Gators from the right wing, okay? We need to save them. We need to keep them nice and pure. Also, that means that we get control of the Mississippi River. Which is a big deal. And that I'm totally not biased in this pick in any way. There's too many beer-drinking swamp people. They're gonna drain us in that swamp. Oh, well, Taco, we outnumber them massively. They can't do shit against us. For every one of them, there's like 10 of us. Just like, what are they gonna do, you know? I guess they do have guns, but... whatever. We have gators. Taco, we just have to convince all of the little swamp creatures to be on our side. The crabs probably won't join us though. They're kind of homophobic. Yeah, they're a little homophobic. But the rest should join us. The rest would be fine. Catfish, they like... Catfish, I think that catfish are good. I think that they have good ideas at the end of the day. Like, it's like, catfish, they just haven't thought about a ton of things yet, right? But, like, if you sat down and had conversations with them, I think that they would come out on the good side at the end of the day. You know? It's like one of those things.
Welcome back, everyone. We have just seen India win 2-0 versus New Zealand. Let's take a look at some of the...
Goodbye, audio again. Pew!
Relive this.
This was crazy.
We can forget about it. We can move on with our days.
That was a good match, though, chat. Indian v New Indian. Why did I say that? India v New Zealand.
I've never heard of this country. I don't know anything about it.
That was sick.
I'm actually closing my eyes. That's what I'm gonna do. They're not replaying the sounds, so if I close my eyes, it's not happening.
You know what? Team New Zealand might have played this game with their eyes closed too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's
wrong there.
That's fair.
They might have played with their eyes closed. Excuse me.
There's just some clear issues happening here when you know you look back over towards Ilios, where outside of India starting out with a Ram comp, and then you know, which is not an ideal comp to begin on, and not a surprise they lost the opening couple of fights, but beyond that, India were in control. Then you look over towards Light
Oh my god.
House where India wanted to come through with the Ryan comp, and again, not an ideal comp for that map, but no point. They didn't know how to counter. They didn't know how to get themselves into the point. Made a weird ash swap. Had to wait until duplicate was not available, but kind of had to be willing to use.
I felt like I was watching a TikTok there for a second. You think our best chance is Ohio? No, the problem with Ohio, Taco, is the reason I'm picking a coastal state, and the reason why I'm picking a coastal state is because it gives us an area to escape to. In the case of Ohio, we can't escape to anywhere, we can't trade with anybody, we're completely landlocked, and we would be like locked in by air as well. We would have to make deals with the US if we want to get anywhere, you know?
We're going to take a look at the Australia team starting up first. Let's have a look here now. I feel like we've spoken a lot about this team. But we will have.
That's the problem with Ohio. It's landlocked.
And a whole lot of bird.
Love the YouTube content. Thank you. Which vid did you see?
Just the name above all else. Birdlog. It's straightforward. It's punchy. It's entertaining.
Look at this lineup.
One of the best I've seen in my
Nanta and Kuffa in particular, I know are really good. Saw the Angie Echo. Oh yeah. That video. Yeah. They were mad. They were really butthurt for no reason. I mean, in order to say some of the things that person said, you have to be kind of a bitter person. So I think that they were just mad in general with stuff, and then they just blew the fuck up at us because like they could do it with no consequence, except for being laughed at by people who watched my video. That's why we've got to go to Hawaii, join forces with the locals, and drive out all the rich and live in peace. Okay, but I think we would overpopulate Hawaii a little bit, Taco. I'm not gonna lie. Probably a bad day.
Only the once so far on Circuit Royale in their first series up against Malaysia.
Wait, but if you think about it, we're playing in the long game, right? Hawaii with the volcano and everything, its land is expanding.
So they don't only
right.
bring in,
and this could be good considering how much the US in particular is accelerating climate change.
I mean, we've kind of said all that needs to be said.
You have a good point there, Taco.
And about what we're expecting.
You have a good point there.
I suppose the real thing I mentioned before the break was there is the outside chance of an upset here. Australia just needs to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, a very, very far outside chance, like
very, very slim.
Extremely far outside.
Very slim. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't buy that lotto ticket, unfortunately.
Certainly not.
The odds are not really that good. I think Australia should be the team that comes out.
I have a video, by the way, that I was gonna upload on Sunday, but I think I'm gonna have to wait till like Monday or something because I'm gonna be. Well, today's Sunday now, I guess, but like I'm gonna be watching this all day, so that's not gonna come out until a little later. But I do have another video that I'm gonna be putting out, and it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one.
Is the map selection now? For those wondering, the loser of the map does pick the second map.
Lijiang. Oh, they picked a new picture for Lijiang.
I don't think it'll go to a third. If it does, it would be a.
We've seen so much Lijiang in these, chat.
We'll clean this one up too.
I like Control Center. I like Control Center.
They will.
It's a real funny way of saying Singapore gets to pick Circuit Royale.
I'm not.
We'll see what gets picked out. We'll be curious.
You and Taco can have your little rival, though. You and Taco. Y'all have your little rivalry there.
Australia is one of the few teams that have gone to a map 3 outside. To see it today, but
by the way, that's not my audio problem. The stream's just being fucky wucky.
So we'll head on into Lijiang Tower. Over to you.
There's a flag on that green spacesuit, and I recognize it, but I don't know where from, and it's really bothering me. And I don't know how to look it up. I don't know how.
Google detectives to work.
Yeah, someone please tell me. Like, I know that I know it, but I can't remember what it is. And it is.
And do you mean American football or do you mean football?
Not knowing what you don't know. You know what you don't know.
Chad, have y'all ever seen Australian football? It's like American football, but not. It's really weird.
That's what he played yesterday.
Whenever like I hear Australians talk about football, I thought that they were talking about football, but they also call it soccer. like Americans do. It's so weird.
Singapore, bit of a slow starter for them.
This is a little awkward. We're just hearing the casters like breaths and everything. What is happening with audio in this? Ooh, big play from Australia.
Last couple of members in the fight. Very clean start from Australia.
Wait, Singapore has people in their team called... They have people in their team called Cup and Paper. You mean rugby? Is it literally just rugby?
Is annoying, but
yeah, I asked if it was rugby, and my Australian friends were like, no. But it looked a lot like rugby. But if it is rugby, I literally wouldn't be surprised. What if they just want to act like they're special with it?
Push through the side room instead. And slowly marching their way onto the point is Ash Kane. Immortality Field already.
Damn, my Australian friends really gaslighting me about that.
Obviously, no Immortality Field on the side of Australia. Didn't have.
Oh, y'all can be friends then? Okay, okay.
Window deployed by Paper, so Australia just backing out of this one, letting it happen. Cuppa will be able to rejoin the team shortly. Nanda actually finds Vips, so that might make this reset a bit quicker for Australia. It's a 4v4, now 5v4 as Cuppa rejoins. You can see him just in the distance there. A Coalescence as well, keeping the team in it comfortably.
Bye, Nanda. What is... Dude, this is falling apart. This is falling apart.
Paper actually picked off by the top.
They sometimes just call it football. They call it footy. Oh, I gotta go watch some fucking footy, mate. That's what they say.
A turret posthumously doing a bunch of work for Nanda there, as mentioned. That will continue through for now. They did give up the point a little bit. I mean, Singapore rushed on. Australia...
You would think that Singapore's comp would be a bit more strong, but Australia's making this look real good.
Up to make the capture, 28%. Got something on board. EMP now available. A little bit too overcommitted. Quite a bit overcommitted.
Australian drinking culture is something else, chat.
I mean, even the South America
They love watching footy and drinking beers.
I mean, the Torb turret is absolutely going
off. It's a 3-man Torb turret kill.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, is Singapore gonna be able to win a fight here?
Actually, I say Burlog came in late. Possibly, you know, he went as soon as he could after the hack, and Cuffer just fell too quickly. So, what critters do? Singapore did manage to get that kill, but
yeah. But whenever they're talking about, I literally thought that they were just talking about I'm Australian fans don't like Vegemite shrimp on the bar. Don't like Vegemite shrimp on the bar being Kangaroo Jack.
That's actually rarer than getting.
You're not a real Australian, it's true. Yeah, wait, hold on, 1 second. You see Team Australia here? Where's Kangaroo Jack? Where's Crocodile Dundee? Wait a second. Where's Vegemite on their team? Okay, hold on. This isn't Australia.
Getting aggressive. They have a Death Blossom and they want to get in position, get the boot back. It was completely red. And now the commitment coming back in from Australia. They've got the Coalescence, they've got the Annihilation, and just clean onto the point. Singapore not able to find the timing, find the opportunity to utilize those other ultimates that they had. And
more proof that Aussie Lane is fake, yeah. There's a reason why it's sectioned off on the map, right? It's because they don't want people of other continents finding out that it isn't actually real.
And a super clean wipe. Singapore can't really do too much further about that on the re-engage, and on that though,
really strong display from Australia. It's looking real rough for Singapore right now.
So Singapore at least had to walk away with a little bit of
send you to New Zealand. New Zealand fucking hates Australia.
Very one-sided.
Or at least that's what my Australian friends tell me. I don't know if I can believe them anymore, because they were telling me that footy wasn't rugby.
Still a bit of a rough start for Singapore.
It took you a minute to press us that she's not actually Kate. Everybody says that.
It's okay in the Emirates. It's reasonable in the Emirates.
Kate Bush is Australia's like favorite artist ever.
You will lose out in the May Ice Wall battle, which is super important for map.
Angela absolutely loves Kate Bush. So that's why Angela has Kate Bush on everything.
Walled out around the side.
Which, like, listen, for a favorite artist, super valid pick. By the way, shoutouts to Kate Bush for making it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She deserves it so much.
Double vortex, everybody slow down. Ashkane's getting kind of low, and no immortality field here for Singapore, obviously. They've actually forced their way onto this point to start with Australia. Nanda a little low. Ooh, there we go. Pick onto Vips. That's going to open the door for Australia to start piling back in. They want to deal with Ash Kane first. Now Immortality Field keeping Australia nice and safe.
Damn, I was hoping that it was going to be a Singapore win on this fight, chat. Hey, Singapore got some percentage on the board, though. They're good with getting percentage on the beginning. They're good with that. They're falling apart right now, though. Kuffa, calm down there, buddy.
Back they go, and a exit kill there by Quinn onto Vips. Second time Vips will die here, unfortunately. And Singapore, they once again get the 14%, so it's not like they're not going to get any percentage cap here. Australia
played D&D today, was barred. Me and Reg went on an illegal street gambling winning streak. 700 gold in for like 40 minutes. Holy shit, let's go.
Until Kuffa found an angle to run in there with an Nemesis form and take Vips down.
And already real low on the entrance, having to take the time to heal him up.
A lot of Australian athletes are extremely good friends with New Zealand athletes. They all share. Wait, hold on! Oh, okay, Singapore blew up again. That's not that's not true, actually. A lot of Australian athletes are extremely good friends with New Zealand athletes. They also share very similar cultures. Personally, you like New Zealand a little more. It's so beautiful, and they are very respectful. Also like their politics for the most part, yeah. They're less racist than Australia. Australia is super racist to their indigenous people. Like, I think that they're, like, just now getting their indigenous people to be represented in their governments somewhat, a little bit. Not much, but it's a step. And, like, tons of people in Australia are like, oh, what the fuck, mate? Oh, I fucking hate that, mate. And stuff like that. They're super, super racist to them.
They've gone in with Quinn with the overclock, only finds Carp, and that's with a quick melee as well. They're still ticking up past the 90th percentile. They do force more ultimates.
They're kind of like the United States in that sense. Except they're worse than the United States with it, because they're they're a lot more outwardly hateful to their indigenous people than the US. What the fuck made me minorities? They're giving them roids. No, listen, Australia makes up for it because Round the Twist exists, so.
And they'll get it done.
Yeah, Oz wins.
Your phone might die if you don't respond. It's because your phone died. All right, Taco.
To clutch on through. Vips had a couple of kills in there, but Australia full confidence that they could fully commit into that fight with whatever they had left, and we'll be able to clean up 2-0. So, no counter-engage from Singapore. No point capture at the end.
Well, I had a good time. I don't know about you. I enjoyed myself. Big win from Australia.
Listen, believe in the dream. Singapore gets Mac pick here, okay? They can strategize. They can make it so that they can win it here. They can super win this.
Look, that very impressive, yeah. Got some 3 kills at one point. Really, opened up that team fight. So well done. But look, we knew that one was going to be a quick fight. But 2-0. Singapore did get some times on the.
You got little flags for the countries you're supporting. Sick. Taco, you wanna watch it with me? I'm gonna be watching it all. I'm gonna be watching it all day today.
Just respecting the team. That's all.
From now till like the end of everything.
To lose on point, they can comfortably pull back a little and give it away and just push back in.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Singapore will get to choose the map that they might be able to make a comeback on. So we'll find out after this break what Singapore has decided between an.
Also, you say tomorrow morning, but it's already Sunday.
You asked, we listened. The McFeast is back in all its beefy, salady, saucy glory.
You can tell this is fucking Australian. Bee sugar. Australia loves macas. Did you hear about the chat? Did y'all know about the Australian Overwatch 2 promotion? Like that happened with like McDonald's. You could ask for the Overwatch stuff at McDonald's in Australia. I haven't played D&D in forever. I used to have a group that I played D&D with, but we fell out. They were like super. They weren't very mechanic. They didn't care about the mechanics very much though. So there's a lot of the mechanics of the game I just don't understand. They were like super plot driven, which like that was fun too. But like whenever it came time to fight or something, I was so lost every single time. Just because like we would have a fight like every 10 sessions or so. I don't know. It was crazy. And we would only have like a session every other week. Next is oh no, we're still Australia, Singapore. Sorry, my bad. Singapore got reamed so hard. You hide in trees most fights because you get scared. I was always forced to like take initiative in everything, even though it didn't make sense for my character to, just because nobody else would. It was kind of annoying a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I was also like, I was a cleric, and I was barely able to use, like, any of my healing abilities. It's like I said, like, it was super plot-driven. Like, we barely ever did anything mechanically. What race? I'm gonna be honest, I don't even fucking remember. I don't even fucking remember. I know I was a life cleric. Like, there was a point with that group, I just kind of fucking stopped giving a shit, honestly. Because I hadn't enjoyed hanging out with them for a bit, so, like, whatever. I've made a rule for myself. I'm not doing D&D with people unless I'm, like, comfortable with them.
Welcome back, everyone, and we've just had Australia versus Singapore on Lijiang Tower, which Australia did clean sweep 2-0. Any thoughts or anything else to add? It was quite a quick match, so not too sure.
Yeah, because like whenever I tried being friends with the people, the first thing they did was like, "You want to play D&D with us?" And I didn't really play D&D before, so I was like, "Okay."
In reality, which is unfortunate.
But now I know I should probably like them a bit before going into that shit, you know? I should probably make sure that I like them.
Fair enough. Well, look, Singapore did put up a bit of a fight, as we see here. They did manage to get some time on the control point, but unfortunately just could not.
I haven't played Jack Blocks. Yeah. I think I might. No. I was gonna play it on stream one time, but it didn't end up happening.
I think is going to be a very common theme in the games that they play. They are still tipped to be the favorite here. There's no two ways about it. This is essentially the team that's carrying.
Yeah, I've played it before.
Playing up against
it's fun.
We are at this point not expecting to pick up any matches.
Oh, they subbed in Punk here. Punk's good.
Winnable matches passed them by, unfortunately, against both Malaysia and New Zealand. They lost both of them. We're just
Taco, is that you on Heather's account? Sure, that sounds great. Thanks for the sub, by the way. Thank you for the tier 1. Thank you for the tier 1, Heather. Sure, that sounds great. Probably be up at 11 for the early games. Okay. Whenever your friends play,
Bit of an update there on their roster.
It just turns into no jokes.
A very strong team. Very strong players.
Yeah.
The entire Australian roster.
The thing with this group was that I wasn't comfortable with them, but they were super heavy into role-playing and stuff. And I just like, I don't know, I felt like I was being judged. So I just didn't role-play. That's when they start, right? Here, let me tell you real quick. So, here, I'm actually, I'm gonna post a link in chat for you real quick. That's the schedule.
Actually, funnily enough, I didn't even realize, but where the studio I'm currently in actually physically is, out front is a Formula 1 car right now.
9 a.m. You can if you come in at 9 a.m. your time, we can start it off with
It's definitely a Red Bull, but it's
Saudi Arabia and Turkey.
2018 apparently.
That's whenever I think that's going to be the most doable time for you, and then that's going to go until
We've got that clarified.
we're going to be sitting there and doing stuff until like
once the players, of course, are ready, but
9
yes,
p.m. your
Very
time.
popular map choice here. Look, I'm a little bit bummed. I want to see some, you know.
Unless you want to do
Kings
something
Row.
later.
It's my favorite map. I know we've seen a lot of Kings Row over the years, but I would love to see some of it. But
The match at 11 a.m. for you would be Poland v Iceland.
Are ready, and I'll hand it on over.
I, for one, am glad that we got to see Numbani earlier in this tournament. That's the map that I've missed the most.
But yeah, whenever I play Jackbox, like
Man, we haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah,
we
do
do
kinda miss it.
stupid
You see it one
jokes.
time, like, I
We do
no
stupid
longer miss
jokes.
it.
I realized that you were talking about Jackbox and D&D just now. That's my bad. But yeah, whenever we play Jackbox, we just make dumb jokes. Or at least I make dumb jokes. I make dumb harmless jokes, right? Like pee-pee poo-poo stuff. Because that's how I am. I like stupid jokes. You know, it's whatever. You know what, chat, I take pride in the fact that my humor doesn't hurt people.
Certainly true.
I think that that's something to be proud of. You know? It doesn't hurt people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that duck float. Look at that rubber ring. In the world's worst swimming pool. That is a flotation device for a dog.
They always spectate the fucking
that-
floaty in the
I
pool.
like that whoever is manning that camera knows what the people want, and it's the weird floaty in the weird pool. Is that Roots? That feels like a Roots thing to do.
What I want is for the gates to open in 2 seconds. For Team Australia to choose their composition, Punk is doing a little bit of.
Your humor hurts yourself, yeah. I guess my humor does cause psychic damage to me and all the people around me. It actively makes everyone around me more dumb. So there is that.
Then the overall game would be shorter. But instead, they're going to have to go all the way to the end of C and then full hold Singapore. So it'll take that slight bit longer. So Australia won't quite get the speed run record.
I think he's not going to be on the Widowmaker today.
Hydration check? Okay.
Australia will join the growing list of teams who are opting for a Sojourn Hanzo look over playing.
No, but for real though, like, it doesn't hurt
Tyler
anybody.
did a damn good job on that yesterday. Vips will take down Quinn, so first casualty on board.
It's just like dumb fun, you know?
Immortality Field to keep Ash Kane alive.
I don't like having jokes at the expense of others. I think that isn't
Feeling that one a little bit, but comfortably topped off now.
cool.
Not a bad shot. Keeps Nami in check.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Australia massively slowed down. Okay, things are picking up for Singapore. Things are looking on the positive.
Yeah, this isn't half bad, and there we go. Aki as well as Vips collects that one, and now Quinn is
They're
in
gonna clean
a
up,
bit of trouble.
I think.
Buffazin does go down. That's an important one with that slightly closer respawn, but in losing Nami, still a little bit of a disconnect here.
Holy shit.
Just trying to get right up and Cup's grill. Does not pay off. Goes down to Vips.
Let's go Singapore!
Okay.
Let's go Singapore!
Really slow staggering there. I mean, Australia kind of self-staggered because, well, they can't really exit, so they had to go forward. That means it's an extended team wipe, which Singapore will be quite happy about. A minute 30 gone.
It's practically 3 a.m. You've got to sleep. So you can wake up early to stream.
First ultimate on board is going to be the Dragon Strike, but with Cup going down, player advantage.
Someone always gets hurt, yeah.
And that's probably enough to start breaking this one. You see Punk getting very aggressive, really knows his limits. Dragon Strike separates up the team a little bit. They're not in a position to follow it all.
Even if people express that they're cool with it, I just don't like doing it personally. It's just not my thing.
Very important find, slows Australia down once again as they look for that respawn. Would have had that flux available shortly after as well, so bit of a rough beat of timing.
I'm gonna get a little bit of a move on now.
I just like, I don't know, I feel like I just want to be as respectful to my friends as possible.
So is Vips.
Also, Taco, if you end up waking up early or something, if you end up waking up early and you want to stream, I'm gonna be streaming a lot, so you can join in the fun.
Now it's going to be Transcendence to keep everyone alive as they deal with that Immortality Field. And Australia is still now.
Okay, goodbye.
Should all be back in the mix in just
Go in Singapore, win this shit. Oh.
Finds Vips, has an overclock if he needs it, but
Maybe still winnable.
using it for the time being as Nami has his Dragon Strike.
Big dragons, though. Yeah, okay. Goodbye, Singapore.
ACAP finally looking to come over. Bit of a slow one for Australia, all things considered. A minute on the board now as they get the cap.
Yeah, it took them 3 minutes to be able to get
11
this
a.m.
cap.
isn't early, but if you're up
There's a
earlier,
shot.
you will 11 a.m.
Positions are working
your
out
time.
for Singapore today.
It's 9 a.m. my time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Biggest
No, I
thing
know.
seeing them frag. I mean, 2 members
I know.
walking down the ash cane to follow, you can imagine.
But you should you should for sure get those sleeps, you know? Especially because you worked a lot today.
Australia, not quite on the back foot, but taking a long time to make their way through the map.
And you gotta get the Grimace birthday
That's the real
shake.
important thing here for Singapore. They're just looking to slow Australia down, run down that clock, find that overtime fight. I mean, it's again, it's a by the book kind of deal. That's a really solid start across A. B, I think, is where it could flip back in Australia's favor in a big way. Not that it's not in their favor, mind you, but if they can get a quick cap here, then Singapore can find themselves in a
Oh, Lord.
spot.
Let's see if this overclock can deliver. Certainly does. Onto cup at least, and now onto
Crazy overclock.
The lamp is gone. Ashcan and Paper super low HP.
Wow, Nami finds it with the
Cap will
Sonic
come through
arrow.
next.
Yeah, Singapore. This is just a team diff.
But, there we go, another one collected. Add that to your kill feed.
Singapore is
Really nice pickup.
not very good as far as World Cup's concerned, chat.
And the amount of kills on the
They clearly have good players and stuff in it. It's just, you know, World Cup is like really, really high tier stuff.
Australia make up for lost time. A was slow, but B much quicker. Just under 4 minutes to take through C now. And it's going to be Australia taking the forward ground early. Singapore still just kind of
They aren't letting Australia get this for free though. They're contesting them.
From Singapore at all, and
There is a bit of contesting going on here, chat.
angle on coast, which Ashcan is looking at now.
Australia getting aggressive.
So chat, I'm gonna stop streaming in between breaks. And the reason why I'm gonna stop streaming in between breaks is because I want to have a break for myself, some time for myself, so I can do some things. But I also need to use the restroom sometimes, and I can use that time to take, like, you know, go to the restroom and stuff. They better figure out this audio thing for whenever the stream comes back, because I want to be able to, you know, watch this stuff and not have to deal with the audio things.
Yeah, it's probably going to be it. Yep, but I guess he's used it. I mean, you use everything you got right now, I guess. Nothing from the flux from Ashkane goes down as well as Fuffer's in. Paper does have a window, but he can use it to look at the cart as it caps out. There it is.
Singapore's still trickling in. Big stuff from Australia.
There's the cap, finally.
What are the dragons, by the way? This is
Yeah, I was saying, like, Australia's gonna win this, and, well, look at it.
Overwatch is, like, science-based, right? Like, even if it's, like...
Except the bits
even if it's, like, sci-fi, right?
Magic.
Yeah, but they're like, oh, it's nanotech or something like that, but then, like, the dragons are just straight-up magic.
No. Just magic.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
A lot of the Japanese stuff is straight
Like,
magic.
everything else is scientific, and then at the end it's just straight-up magic.
No. Some of it is magic, some of it's not.
What else? Like, what's something else that's just, like,
And
magic?
also, if something that's so technologically advanced you don't understand it, it might as well be magic. So really,
But,
it's all magic.
Are there any other abilities that are, like, that don't have a scientific
Got a point
explanation?
there. Got a bit of a point.
Because even Zenyatta's ultimate, I assume he's, like, sending
It's something that they say, like, magic is just science that hasn't yet been able to explain.
She doesn't do the range, dear. She doesn't do the range.
Like,
So even Zenyatta's ultimate is like,
people back in the day probably thought gravity was magic to some degree.
They've established that, like, nanotech can be used to heal. But, like, seriously, the
magic.
dragons are just, like, two magical dragons.
Anyway.
It seemed like the casters were getting annoyed with each other there. I don't understand what happened.
Let's go. I demand answers. Does magic just exist in the Overwatch universe? If so, why does no other hero use it?
He is going to be on the Widowmaker this time around. Oh, out goes the Hanzo.
That was uncomfortable.
Really going to stick onto Cup Symmetra? That is an interesting question with paper.
That was really uncomfortable. I didn't like that.
Shall we say, not quite meta?
I wonder if there is...
They're both good casters, by the way, Chad. I'm not trying to disrespect them. Okay, they're both good casters. That was just, you know, you always get that one moment with somebody, no matter what, right? Where you get kind of annoyed with them. It felt like that was that right there.
Okay, well they playing bridge, but unfortunately that means they're not going to be able to really push payload or make anything of that. Cup's effective range does improve.
They also do have people in their ear telling them stuff, so maybe they were like, hey, stop talking about that, stop talking about that.
Punk a little on the low side.
So I don't know. I don't know. It could be a ton of things.
As Australia nearly on ultimates. Cup picked out there by Punk. Nice shots across onto Ashkane as well, keeping him honest, forcing him back. What is that melody? That's a good question, Punk. It's the sound of Ashkane dying.
He died before he hit the ground. Wait, did he hit like the light or something? That's kind of crazy.
Defense there from Australia.
Now right back into the Singapore spawn. Allow the payload to slowly move itself backwards. Look, will play all the way up. Do some advanced scouting. Singapore staying in the course on their composition. For another 2 minutes of this.
No one.
Big stuff, chat.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
I'm looking forward to 2 more minutes of this, actually. Buffers and Vips down very early in this one. Ashkane looking
That widow behind that window is just brutal.
Running.
They're gonna clean up. Yep. Quite easily, it seems.
Oh, okay.
People will make it back into spawn. So there's one player staying alive. Nice.
Singapore's having a rough go at it right now, chat.
I used to do martial arts, and the grandmaster would hold a piece of paper, and you had to punch fast enough to punch clean through the piece of paper, and none of us could do it. And then one day I said, "Can you do it?" And he got so mad at me for questioning his authority that he kicked me out of the class, which was really just him admitting that he couldn't do it.
That's
just one sheet of paper.
Pretty crazy,
Unlucky.
actually. One sheet of paper, unlucky.
Yes, Singapore are getting the kills once again. Just got a lot more interesting.
What is your melody? Hit us with your best mix.
With a two-piece.
And nothing. Down in the immortality field.
Punk is low HP.
That was funny.
Is getting healed up and now has his own. It's 2 for 1 in terms of those dramatic fluxes. Once again, it's just immortality field deployed to answer it. The barrier in place as well. Photon barrier from Cup. Just slowing things down for Australia on this defense. Cap not quite coming through. There we go. Finding Buffers in. Quinn going to get aggressive with the overclock. Looking for more res on Buffers in, but by the time he's done, 2 other members were already dead, and paper soon to follow, and Buffers in goes down for a second time.
Good job from Australia. Jesus Christ, Singapore.
Taylor has good distance.
They might have to go Lucio.
All out of resources. Paper's even on the Lucio now. And I'll say
yeah, they went Lucio. Oh, no, not going Lucio.
So, no improvements on the comp side.
Just TP. They're gonna rely on TP to get in there.
Quinn down? Alright. That's a bit of a start.
Oops again?
Might be able to find
the hero?
something.
Oh, it's Quinn. That's how they say it.
This is the best opportunity to have. Now firing through this window here is Team Australia. Ashkane.
Oh my god. They got fucking brutalized. Holy shit. That is unbelievable.
General Kenobi.
Okay.
Thanks.
That is unfortunate.
My best impression.
You went too far on that one, I think.
I don't have many good impressions. I think my best impression is probably Mickey Mouse. And Kermit the Frog.
That's copyright and licensed, so
exactly. I'm not going to challenge the mouse live on air.
Outside of Veps getting a couple of kills, very clean.
I just like, I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like
full hold.
An uncomfortable like tension between these two. I think one of them's trying to like ease it, and the other one's just like, I'm annoyed with you right now. Stop making jokes.
They do have a map one. They got that one map win versus Malaysia, but beyond that, still searching for more.
I would like to just let Pixie know something. You asked about Hanzo's dragons, and I have to tell you, they're the Shimada spirit dragons, so they're not magic. They're actually.
Yeah, Kevin was just like upset. I think.
What magic is
controlled by the Shimada. They're technically
I know that
spirit
part.
dragons.
I know all of that, but I'm like, is it actually that there's some like weird proprietary technology that everyone else thinks is bad? Like, what actually are they? Like, aside from just saying spirit dragons, like, what is that? Is God real in Overwatch? There's, like, actual deities, and they get spiritual energy from whoever it is.
Yeah, so Kevin's just not impressed by this right now.
It's so weird.
Oh, goodness.
Someone explain.
Well,
maybe Cuffer knows.
I don't know much. Maybe Cuffer knows. Well, look, we are going to go and have a chat with Cuffer now. He played the first map against Singapore. Welcome, Cuffer. Thanks so much for taking some time to have a chat with us. You played your first match. How did
He
you
looks
feel
Australian.
today?
Chad, is that weird to say?
You know, I don't think we.
I feel like there's like a look
any
that
difficult
Australian
match.
people
They're
has,
quite
and he has
relaxed
that.
compared to most teams in the group. So you know, a breeze. It was fun there.
He needs to lower his camera a little bit. He needs to lower his camera a little bit.
Seem to be going pretty well through the group so far. You're probably one of the favorites as Team Australia to make it out of this group, but the competition looks pretty interesting now. With, you know, Thailand's game yesterday was quite close. You didn't play that matchup, but it did go 2-1. Do you have any thoughts on how you guys went yesterday versus Thailand?
I think both the matches we won were pretty convincing. I think Circuit's a bit of a Mickey Mouse map. You know, anything can happen. They kind of surprised.
But what does that
us
even
with the
mean?
Hanzo Sojin.
Mickey Mouse map, anything can
They're a
happen.
really
What does
good
that
team, but I
mean?
think Thailand are definitely the second strongest team in the group, and maybe like India close.
I know
behind.
that like anything. I know what anything can
I think
happen
they-
means,
they
but
got a
what does
really
Mickey
good,
Mouse have to do with that?
DPS line, so not to underestimate them for other teams.
That's 2 Mickey Mouse mentions in the last 3 minutes. We're in trouble here. Cuffer, did you know that you can get a McFeast lunch deal for $5.95? But my actual question is, obviously, you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch, but Australia is a favourite to make it out of this group. Are the boys already kind of looking ahead to what they might see elsewhere in the tournament? Obviously, once you qualify into those other groups, you'll have your opponents all lined up ahead of you. Or I mean, obviously the focus for now is on the matches in front of you, but like, how ambitious is the team feeling right now? Are you expecting that you are going to be in those groups and planning accordingly?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone would expect us not to qualify. I don't want to jinx anything, but we are definitely the favorites. And, you know, there's
Definitely the favorites. Calm down.
Behind us, so I think it'd be anything.
No, Australia's gonna
we'd
qualify
see
for
us
sure.
Not succeed, and yeah, I think we'll do well. I hope we go to America and play well. Hopefully, get through the groups and play on the big stage. That's the plan.
All right, thanks very
Nothing
much.
less.
Clip that so that if you do end up not qualifying, we have the clip that makes you look like a fool. Thank you very much, Cup. Appreciate that.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
goodness. And look, you do have a match. Your last match of the entire qualifier will be against New Zealand. Are you guys looking forward to that match? Because obviously a lot of you New Zealand and Australian players have played together on teams together. So will this kind of be a bit of a fun match between all of you, do you think?
It'll be a low ping match compared to the other ones. So that'll be good fun. Yeah. I don't
Have the
think
other ones been high ping?
Unless like some miracle happens.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't wanna talk about a Cuffer.
Yeah,
That's-
I don't think anyone really expected them to qualify. Like, Joker said to me, like, see you at BlizzCon or whatever, but that was like a while ago, and I didn't say anything back because, you know, I didn't think they'd qualify.
Now you can.
Yeah.
it's a shame that you couldn't clip him in that conversation. Unfortunate.
Oh, goodness. Well, look, thank you so much for your time, Cuffer, and good luck for the rest of the matches.
A little bit of trash talk in there. Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was all she wrote for Australia versus Singapore. 2-0 the way of Australia. And we will be heading off to our next games shortly, which will be Malaysia versus Thailand. As we can see so far, we have...
Let's go Malaysia versus Thailand, and then we're gonna get a break.
How are we feeling about the Malaysia-Thailand matchup? Do we think another 2-0 the
More
way of
2
Thailand?
zeros across the board.
All 2
Across the
zeros,
board.
yeah. And just an absolute
Way of
clean run
Thailand.
of it. I've got dinner reservations, so yeah, I'm looking for a 2-0 here from Thailand. And funnily enough, I'm actually going to a Thai restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bit of a humble brag there.
Yeah.
Voting for
as much as
Thailand.
Thai food is notably expensive. Come on.
Oh, Thai food's great.
I
I'm
know.
feeling very left out. All right, well, look, everyone, we'll be back shortly with Malaysia versus Thailand. Don't go anywhere.
It just ends and Kevin starts like screaming at them like, "What the fuck were you doing?" No, that's probably not happening. That's not happening. Listen, I don't think that he's that bad at managing his emotions. I don't think that listen. Okay.
Means more at Macca's, so grab a McFeast McFeast lunch deal now for only $5.95.
Fucking Macca's commercial. Player spotlight. Wait.
I'm Riley, also known as Coffer, and I'm the tank and IGL of Team Australia.
Cuffa, holy shit.
What sets me apart from other Overwatch players? It'd have to be.
Look at his picture in the background!
How dedicated I am to it.
Oh.
People have like other commitments, and it's fair enough if you're not in tier 1. Overwatch might not be your entire
God, the editing on this is bad. Look, you can see like the dome over his fucking head. The clear dome over it.
I think I've got a great advantage.
Come on, McDonald's. Come on, you can do better.
Some of my biggest role models within the Overwatch Australia esports community would have to be Punk Unto Face. There's 2 LA Gladiators coaches within the Overwatch League and a Vancouver Titans tank player. It's kind of limited, the resources you get within OS, so it's great to have these people available to help, especially during the World Cup.
Yeah. Go-to Macca's order.
Would definitely have to be a double quarter pounder meal. There's nothing better than those beef patties, I'll tell you that. Mick delivery is now on the My Macca's app. How do I deliver under pressure? I generally just focus on breathing techniques before and during important matches. And
come on, McDonald's. Come on. You're joking, right? Oh, it's just all fucking McDonald's puns. A part of his cheek is cut off with the fucking blur thing.
Can also help a lot develop like, cool strategies, and you can understand how to play the game at a higher level.
Goddamn McDonald's. You're a big corporation. You can do better than that. Come on, I believe in you, McDonald's. I believe in you. They're really honing in on this region for the advertisement, though. That's pretty crazy. That wasn't really in the other stuff as much. Like they would have like a little like banner or something that would appear on some things, like you know, like sponsored by McDonald's. But you know, other than that, not really. What's the viewership like for this region? Not great. Play Overwatch. Okay, not terrible. And this is just the Twitch viewership, not counting the YouTube viewership. Actually, what is the YouTube viewership right now? Let's see. Let's see. So I guess I have to check Play Overwatch and Contenders. Contenders... They have 699 people watching on Contenders. Play Overwatch. They have so many fucking channels for this shit, chat. It's crazy. They have 848 people watching on Play Overwatch. Okay, so that didn't add much to the pool. Most people are watching on Twitch. Which makes a lot of sense considering the watch parties and everything, so... That makes a lot of sense. I'm excited for this next match. I'm excited to see what Malaysia and Thailand have to offer. Never really seen them play before. I've been loving the layout of a lot of like the things on this in this region though. I hope that they keep a lot of the things, particularly this waiting screen, right? Because it clears up a lot of the confusion of like, well, what's the next match gonna be? Who's playing next? All that stuff. It clears up a lot of that. I hope that they keep this around for the rest of today. But I don't know, because I've never seen this region before, so it could have totally been a thing before. Dun 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 dun. We got this, chat. We got this. Chat, I'm gonna vote for Thailand. I'm gonna vote for Thailand. I'm rooting for Thailand. Look at their flag compared to Malaysia's flag. Thailand's flag is better. That's why. That's why. I'm voting for Thailand. I know nothing about these teams. I haven't even looked up their roster. Here, I'll actually showcase their roster real quick. Let's look at their roster. Teams. We're in APAC B right now. Thailand. Ace, Polly. I've heard those names before. I haven't really heard anybody else. But okay. Interesting. APAC B. Malaysia. Wannabe. I haven't really heard of any of these characters before. I haven't really heard of any of these characters before. Okay. Well, chat, we're about to see. We're about to see how good they are. You know? Oh, here, you can hear the music now. Let's get it. I'm ready for the next one. This is all Overwatch music. Coverage finna start soon, chat. Finna start soon. Here we go. It's time, chat.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Overwatch World Cup APAC Group B qualifiers. We've had some quick games so far. We've had New Zealand versus India, Australia versus Singapore, and we've still got one more to go. Malaysia versus Thailand this evening.
One more 2-0 to go.
Possibly.
Potentially.
Possibly.
It's been 2 zeros across the board so far. So it might be another quick one, which, hey, you know, everyone gets to go home early.
Yeah,
if that's
like I
the
said,
case.
I've got those dinner reservations and I want to hit them. I can't afford to be late again. I'm on thin ice already. So, yeah, here's hoping. Here's hoping
That's 'cause you're
either
tardy.
Thailand or Malaysia pull through. I don't care who gets the 2-0. Yeah, just want to be at that table
right.
at 8 p.m.
Sounds good. Well, let's take a look at Malaysia's lineup to start off here. We've got Fantasy on the tank, Game Produde and J003 as their DPS, and Numenos and Gemini
Joe
as their supports.
Team that's got their one map win, well, actually 2 map
We go,
wins
chat.
versus Singapore. They won that match versus Singapore, struggled versus
Wait,
India.
their flag is appearing in the
Coming into
background. What the
third
hell?
Game here to maybe prove something versus Thailand. Thailand, who we've already kind of talked about as, you know, especially now that Cuff has also kind of set himself one of the top teams in. Malaysia could struggle. Very similar in the ways they struggled versus India. So we'll see if they made any change in the last 24 hours to level up.
They are definitely going up against a pretty strong team. We've seen Thailand. They're quite a strong contender here. And let's take a look at the Thailand lineup. Calvin, Tank, High Vision, and Ace on DPS. And we saw
2
some
Widow players?
great plays from Ace yesterday. He actually
Really?
got the play of the game. So looking to Ace again today. And then Aputo and Pali on supports.
Yeah, Ace has been the real standout so far. Calvin has also quite comfortably held his own against some quite serious tank players. Obviously going up against Punk was a bit of a tough ask, but that's a tough ask for everyone. And that's the other thing that we sort of highlight here, right, is Thailand have already played their match against Australia. In theory, that's the difficult one done. And they had a reasonable showing. Certainly they had the best showing anyone's had against Australia so far.
Oh, he has a little bit of,
in
like,
the middle and,
goopy on his shirt. He has a little bit
relatively
of
competitive
water
as
on
well.
his
There was
shirt.
definitely a real shot there. So that's why we're kind of expecting a 2-0 out them. They are sort of neck and neck for India.
I will say though,
sort of best of the race
his
out
hair
Australia.
looking
Obviously,
fire.
that head-to-head for a little bit as well.
His
So
hair looks fire.
it's
He
just
got
like
that shit
Thailand
styled.
right now in the grand
God
scheme of
damn. Also mixed with the mustache.
Well, Malaysia
This guy
is
is
starting
he
off
is
on
one
Nepal,
distinguished
their
man.
control map. Now, we haven't seen much Nepal yet played here, so
Oh, here we go, Nepal. We got a
any
Nepal.
Thoughts on what we should be expecting?
Nepal's not a bad map.
Just some more domination from Ace.
I'm not the biggest fan of Control, but Nepal's not bad.
That is their strong point for sure. A strong enough point that for Thailand should be.
Ooh, wait.
Most teams.
Is this best of 3?
But I mean, they did well versus Australia. Thailand should look to continue doing well for the rest of the tournament.
No, there's no way.
to go to a different
Wait,
match.
wait, wait.
Actually, it's been all Ilios and Li Zhang, so Nepal
1,
now.
2. No, there's no way it could be best of 3.
Standard procedure here. Loser picks subsequently.
Well, no, I mean
their escorts,
first to
hybrids,
3, not best of 3. Best of 3 was what it was before. There's no way it's first to 3.
We were remarking on that earlier.
It's got to be best. It's got to be first to 2.
Not just for escort, but
That's gotta be what
specifically
it
for
is.
Circuit Royale. I think we've seen only Circuit Royale, and then we saw one Numbani, if I'm not mistaken.
Gibraltar? We had a
We
Gibraltar
did. We saw one
as well?
Gibraltar. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I actually like Nepal. I think Nepal's a fun control map. You know, you've got that map which has the opening sort of in the center, which you can get a lot of some fun environmental kills. I think Nepal is a really fun map to play on. You can also
Nepal's a little weird to play
I don't know
on.
if people will, but you could potentially have the echoes here, like to, you know, have that air control, but potentially not. I'm not too sure what we'll see. But I think Nepal's a fun one that we'll get to.
This is a map where you see Echo and Farah get some play.
And whoever does win this one, the other team will get to choose the second map, which will be an escort or hybrid. And if we do get a 1-to-1, the third map will be a push, which will be the decider map. But we don't think we'll be getting all the way to the third, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It may not be a clean 2-0, but let's find out as we head on in to.
Here we go, chat. Nepal.
Here, take it away.
All I'm thinking about
They get some good shots of these maps, though.
Like McDonald's.
I want to say we might see some more comps here, but probably not from the Malaysia.
All right,
side,
here we go.
given their
Matt and
track record
Kevin.
so far.
They got to be on better
They've
terms
only
now.
just
They got to
played,
be on better terms.
realistically speaking, either the Junker Queen or the Sigma if we go to Circle Royale, which actually might be on the cards again if Malaysia end up picking that second map. So it's going to be an early prediction from me. But yeah, I don't think that Fantasy is going to really swap off unless there's something really confident there that Fantasy hasn't shown that they'd like to. It's just going to be more Junker Queen for now.
Game Pro dude.
You see him downright clear
Joe.
that one.
Just easy prediction.
That could be a name. Clairvoyant. Like Ella Mentalist.
You know what? I think you might be the first person in the world that's ever said
Probably am. Probably.
Quite possibly.
Here we go. Let's see what's gonna happen.
First.
I'm like I said, I'm placing my money on Thailand, chat. But I don't know much about these teams, so.
Some more on both sides.
We'll have to see what the
One team now has one less Moira.
Thailand coming out with the opening pick.
On the wrong side of a Maywall as
Oh lord.
so what can the Junker
Yeah, the Ram comp's looking really strong on this map, chat. I don't know about the JQ. I think they're gonna have to swap.
Okay.
It looks like they're gonna try it one more time. Maybe more. But I really think that the Ram, they need to do something about this Ram. I don't think that the JQ can work here.
This is going to be where things struggle a little bit. You have to really win these.
Yeah, that's why JQ can't work as well. Good shout, though. Really good shout.
Yeah, JW3 as well, having to
Had to get that juice. Oh, there goes the audio. Listen, the audio was looking so good for a minute. They were looking so good for a minute. They were doing so good with keeping the audio nice. Okay, funny rotation. They're doing good.
So much damage. Fantasy basically went down there almost.
I think their idea is to put them on points so that they can go for boobs. Oh my god. Big boop! It's doesn't matter though.
Just off into oblivion there. Where does that lead, do you reckon?
That is rough.
As you mentioned.
Malaysia having a rough time right now.
Loops back around, so when you get to the end, you drop out of the ceiling, you drop out of the sky.
It eventually connects to the realm that the Shimadas get their dragons from.
Very dangerous. Here comes that blizzard.
And not a happy spot for Malaysia. They got the coalescence running, but Numenor's frozen up.
And, didn't end up getting the kill. But it's alright. Everybody was so low anyway, it didn't matter. There were just so many resources that Malaysia had to invest, and they just had to. They blew up eventually. They just don't have that healing in order to keep everybody up like that. There you go. They're swapping over to the Ram. Swapping over to the Ram. They should have done that a lot earlier. But yeah, the Ram here is going to give them a fighting chance. But they do have to deal with Thailand's ults here. Big beat. Big beat. Big beat. That Reaper was really banking on that beat not coming out. They tried with the Blizzard, but they should have put it up earlier. Oh, Lord. Unfortunate. Okay, so if Malaysia starts off with a better comp next time, or at least swaps to a better comp next time, I think that they're going to have more of a fighting chance, because once they made that comp swap, it was looking like they could do something there, but the thing is, like, I don't know, they were so pressured to get those ults out quickly because of the low percentage. I think if they were just like a little bit more conservative with how they use their ults, they could have had that fight, and they could have turned point, and possibly had, you know, more of a fighting chance on that map. But we'll see here. The Ram comp is going to be really strong. Malaysia needs to keep the Ram. It looks like they're going to as well. But yeah, I think that they can win it here if they keep the Ram and they do this.
One-sided so far, I think, as expected.
Thailand. Okay, they're not. They just use the TP. So Malaysia is gonna be getting the point a little bit later because they didn't do the sim TP.
And nice early rotation from Thailand. We'll have to see how Malaysia successfully pushes.
Ooh, big wall. Did they calm that? Okay, they did.
With sightlines at his back. Still getting a little bit low here.
Ooh, fantasy.
Not enough healing at his back. Obviously, no tools like
Big E. Big E coming out from Calbon.
Gemini will get out, but JW3 not going to be so lucky. That is a pretty tidy opening for Thailand.
Made that fight end a lot quicker.
Alrighty. Malaysia still, unfortunately, not able to get too much done. Even
oh, they're all going top right.
Changed up compositions.
Are they expecting them to go top right?
Damage. They're even with the hands up. Can't survive.
They're going lower. They're going bottom. Wait, that's really bad for Malaysia. Thailand gets advantage here. Yeah, because look at where Ace is. He gets this for free as well. They're going to have to use things if they want to get to him. You can't push into that. Yeah. It's over.
Not quite able to commit.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was just unfortunate. They didn't know that they were there either. Malaysia didn't know that they were there.
Holding the diff blossom there as well. No reason to burn it. They knew they won that fight. Good couple of walls. To me, that was high vision wall placement. It allowed them to be able to find the fights they wanted. A couple times in Malaysia, they just got caught out by the walls, couldn't get past.
They're going far right this time. Yeah, I think that that's a good way to play this, because they know that Malaysia is going to be setting up in that spot like they were last time. It makes it so that the Reaper is a lot less prepared to hit this Blossom like that, exactly. May still gets caught out. Oh god, yeah. Malaysia still loses this fight. Oh god.
Not quite a gong, just
Jesus
about
Christ, chat.
Wow.
Thailand looks like a really strong team.
Also threw one in there as well, so 2-for-1 trade. Malaysia still yet to be able to find a good opening here, and we're on the last fight, 15% left. Still a wall to get past, still a blizzard.
Malaysia has...
Very strong for Thailand.
Ooh, they don't really have ult advantage.
Gemini doesn't have his sound barrier yet, which means this blizzard gets a lot of value. Game Pro do try to go around the
I love how there was just like everybody was staring at each other because of the blizzards.
not quite rescuing him. And Malaysia
Oh, Malaysia! Let's go! They're doing it! Malaysia, what a fight, chat! Malaysia, what? Oh, Malaysia with the dub! Let's go! Malaysia's gonna reverse sweep this map. It's time. This is the start of something big, chat. This is the start of something really big.
Gemini was the one that actually got the kill on Pally, so he didn't have the sound barrier. Finds the sound barrier off the damage and kill him to Pally.
Malaysia made the swip on the map. I think that's a good idea. Because of how much Fantasy's been getting caught out with those walls, I think that's a good idea. Joe used that wall too far away. Like, how are you supposed to get value with that wall? I don't understand. Good wall! Good wall from Joe, though. Listen, they came back big there. Fantasy without the heals. No! Malaysia! No!
Going back across the way of Thailand. Not quite a double 100-0 lockout.
Damn.
Overall, still very clean stuff from Thailand.
Okay, next map is Malaysia's pick, though. They can still win this, because they can win fights. And on Hybrid and Escort, I think with them being able to win, like, if they're able to win, like, every other fight, right? They should be good here. They should be good here. They can still win that way.
So Thailand looking comfortable 1-0.
Yeah, Thailand just did not want to let Malaysia get any of the point at all. They held them off for so long. Malaysia getting a touch at the 99% right at the end there. Very close, but yeah, Thailand, good hold. They just said no to Malaysia, just over and over. You don't get to touch this point. So well done to them.
Okay.
And as you kind of said, Kevin, this is, you know, they're one of the potential tournament favorites right now. I think we've got a pretty clear delineation of the top three, and Thailand are in it. So that says three teams all kind of competing for two spots. Obviously, this series isn't over just yet. You know, there could be a turnaround here from Malaysia. Let's absolutely not rule it out. But Thailand are looking just
Malaysia's
so
gonna come back
right now.
Malaysia's coming back, chat.
Well, we're going to take
Malaysia reverse sweep.
Come back. We will have Malaysia picking the next map that we'll be heading to. See you all soon.
Malaysia's gonna be coming out with the reverse sweep. I'm telling you.
You asked, we listened. The McFeast is
Yeah, they were looking. Thailand was looking real strong there, but Malaysia. I see sparks of hope in their team. I see sparks of hope in Malaysia's team. I think Fantasy needs to be a bit more smart with staying with his team, or his team needs to be a bit more... No, definitely with staying with his team. They need to be careful with those Mei walls. They need to be more careful of those Mei walls. Those Mei walls were killer for them. And also with their ultimate usage. It feels like Thailand was just doing a better job at playing like around their ults. And making it so that people didn't really get caught out by Malaysia's ults, particularly like Blizzard and stuff like that. And if they did end up getting caught out by Blizzard, they also Blizzard Malaysia, so Blizzard used Blizzard on Malaysia, so it ended up canceling each other out. But yeah, they just need to be smarter with their ultimate usage and smarter with their positioning. They need to play together more. Thailand, they looked super cohesive in comparison to Malaysia. They played a lot better as a team. But yeah, chat, I believe in it. I believe in it. I believe in Malaysia. If they recognize those issues and they like fix it up, I think that this is going to be a really competitive and even match. Just little things will help them go so far. So far. Oh my god, epic music. Y'all can't hear very much because I turned down the volume for the music sections. Coverage starts soon. Here we go. Reverse sweep coming from Malaysia. I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now.
Welcome back, everyone. You are joining us as we are currently watching Malaysia versus Thailand. The first map has been completed with Thailand taking it away 1-0 on Nepal. Yes,
2-0. A 2-0 in Nepal that ends up in a 1-0 in the map scoreline.
Yeah.
She's frozen.
If they'd stayed on Gemini, we would have found out where that abyss leads to. Guess we'll never know.
Center of the earth. I think it goes straight to the core.
There seems to be some issues with the production and the audio overall with this stream. It happens sometimes, chat. Listen, they've been working on getting these streams up for so long, and they've been streaming these for so long. You know, it happens sometimes. We'll cut them a little bit of slack. And from what we've seen beforehand, they've been really consistent in delivering otherwise.
This was a very one-sided one. Malaysia had the one fight win on Shrine. Thailand cleaned them up quite comfortably.
And they fixed it up a little bit. You know, there's not as much, like, losing all audio as there was before, which is definitely a really big improvement. I prefer what's happening right now over losing audio completely, you know?
Working even yesterday, and today it's still not really doing too much for Malaysia's chances to win this matchup. Thailand, we expect to be the favorites here. They're delivering on that currently. Looking very comfortable.
Well, as Thailand did win that map, Malaysia will be picking the second.
Oh, well, there goes audio. I spoke too soon, chat. I spoke too soon.
Yep, there we go.
It is! Oh, goodness.
Circuit Royale!
A lot of this map.
Let's go. Circuit Royale feels like, if you're losing, it feels like people pick Circuit Royale or King's Row.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
The team's like going there for the tax benefits.
What?
You're just tourists. You know, you're not a resident.
Are you sure they're all not just going
we're just
to the
visiting.
duck?
We're just visiting Circuit Royale, and you don't get to stay there permanently, unfortunately. So,
unfortunate.
I think they were just going to see.
What was the joke he
This is
made?
important for fantasy. This is important for Malaysia because this is where they get to play the Sigma. So there were no surprises for me. I mean, I mentioned they were going to go to Circuit before we even played the first map.
Excuse me?
Because it's just, this is where fantasy needs to be able to pull through the Sigma once more. It's one of their better opportunities to win a map comes from.
Well, definitely. Let's head on into Circuit Royale and see if Malaysia can have a comeback.
What Mediterranean nations don't have a map? Does Spain have one?
Does Spain have one? Goodbye, audio. We will never know. I don't think Spain has one. Wait, the audio graphics look weird.
I know, we don't have one in Ireland. There you go.
Ireland, famously not in the Mediterranean Sea.
Famously in the Mediterranean Sea.
I suppose there isn't a Maltese map.
Iceland doesn't have one.
Doesn't have one. You're quite right about that. Greenland also no.
Yep.
They also haven't
Canada
touched
is a
the
Mediterranean
other
country
side
that does have a map, so Canada's good.
They haven't tried the other side of the Mediterranean Sea, where you've got Morocco and Tunisia and Egypt. So there's a lot of untapped potential. I want to have a map in every single Mediterranean country. I know we do. But what do we still?
We do and we don't. We do and we don't.
We sort of do. We used to.
It's still in the game.
In spirit,
you just can't pick
we
it.
do.
Okay.
But yeah, we need to get all the rest.
Yeah, they were talking about the 2CP map.
It's playing the Calvin Ram.
Temple of Anubis.
We'll do a little bit of Team India.
Looking for that grapple shot?
It's exactly the same as what you would play in a Sigma composition, just no Sigma.
Now, what body?
The question is here, like, is Team Malaysia's DPS lineup going to be able to beat Thailand's? Because this is a very DPS dependent map.
Well, to that.
Looking forward to it.
The Sig pick is looking better than the Ram pick, though. I gotta say, the Sig pick is looking better than the Ram pick. It's better at this poke.
Maybe we'll see.
If Ram gets too close and comfortable up here, you know, just gets burned down by that Hanzo and the Bat and the Zen, like all of their damage combined. Not to mention the Sig's damage as well. And there you go. There goes the Ram.
This is why Calvin needs to go Sigma. Because once the shield goes down, you just can't really do much in that range battle. And there it is. The instant swap.
There you go. Yeah, and it's like, if you get too close as Ram, it's just hard, right? Because, like, you just get burned by the enemies.
So not all is lost for Thailand, although a lot of lost time for Calvin on the ult charge.
Ooh, big pick on the...
Changes things up for this defense here as Thailand.
Big pick on the Hanzo there.
To contest,
okay.
Just the one pick. So now Malaysia have to...
Audio has not been great.
Seems like Ace is one of the few players in this group that's still willing to play the Widowmaker and showed his prowess versus Australia yesterday. Unfortunate missed shot onto J003.
Infrasites rather available for both Widowmakers.
Let's go, they're using it.
Through the window now is J003 and Quicksmiko. Thailand just having to pull back around that corner, but still keeping the card contested. No free push.
And once the Infrasites are both out, no one really wants to push too far forward.
Big flux, maybe?
And actually dodged the rock.
Oh, Ace on fire though, as the rest
oh,
of the
Lord.
Only really capturing.
I think that the Flux, honestly, since Fantasy went super far up, it gave Ace the opportunity to shoot at everybody else. You know, shoot at the rest of Malaysia's team. End up dying because of it.
There we go, nicely done. And now fresh and forward to Fantasy, looking to collect another kill, ideally, and slowing Malaysia down pretty significantly. Just a minute and a half left on the clock for them.
Okay. We're gonna have to deal with the audio being like this for a minute, Chad. It isn't gonna fix it for a little bit.
On the sidelines, but Island's not really playing there. Halo slowly moving backwards. No
nice rock block from Fantasy. Ooh. Ace is destroying them. Oh my god, Ace.
There's winning the sniper duel, and then there's winning the sniper 1v2.
Ace is shredding their ass.
That warps the game around his presence in it. Oh,
damn. Beautiful. Good kill on the high vision, though, from Luminos.
Almost as beautiful as a view of the Mediterranean Sea.
Well, you get a view of the harbor behind you. Which is,
the grapple?
Called Hercules Harbor?
Maybe? I honestly don't know. I feel like I should know.
Wow.
Seems like the kind of
you should know as well. I'm ashamed that you don't know. You should be ashamed.
I am ashamed. I am ashamed. I can never go to pub trivia again. Dragon Strike Quicksmiko, who knows where those dragons come from. Ace finding heads once again. J003 down.
Oh, kills in. They almost got that kill on the Ace. That would have been so big.
They're trying to stay in it. Ace a little bit low. Can't be too aggressive here. Calvin is down.
Oh, they get the kills. They pick him up. There we go. Malaysia. Malaysia flips this point.
Even with the trade back there, Thailand not enough.
Oh, let's go.
Pally, diving for it a second too late. 2.5 minutes on the clock.
Good job. Good job.
B, but they do get that A cap over the line.
Miraculous push coming through from Malaysia. Well done by Fantasy there. Good gravitic flux catches Ace. Push out over 3k. They'll buy themselves the opportunity to push a little bit further. I mean, they're gonna need it because Thailand's own attack
big stuff, chat.
Quite deadly. Jay swapped off the Widowmaker now over towards the Tracer. That'll give Ace a lot of free reign on these angles. To be fair, I think Jay is a little concerned about the lack of good offensive angles here. But Ace has
yikes, Fantasy. You gotta be more careful.
Losing Fantasy. And now Numenal's going down, so Malaysia...
If Malaysia's able to, like...
just absolutely
push this just a bit further, like if they're able to push it around like the corner after the U-turn, this is going to be so much more winnable for them. That's because that's a holdable position for them, and I think that they need to do that. If they aren't able to do that, it's going to be so much harder for them to win it.
Just struggle to round the bend themselves back in contention to touch the payload again. Even Calvin's.
Woo! Luminos! Let's go! They're Zenyatta gameplay, chat! Support gameplay, let's go! Get the right click! Oh, pop off! Bring a good name to all of us supports! Don't you dare go back! No! Don't go to the DPS! He's about to hit a clip! The Sin's about to hit a clip! Come on, Luminos! No!
Ace immediately back in, collects 2 kills like it
Go to Luminos, he's popping off!
Suddenly shoots back on the other foot. Malaysia, they're on the cart, but Thailand have enough time and space to play through to get the rest of these members back just off Ace collecting.
Damn it, chat! We got our fucking 10 seconds of support gameplay for this match. Brutal.
Ace will find more. Luminos on the sides, shivering, shaking.
Oh,
Ooh.
And he's gone.
Good shot. Luminos could have taken that, though. Listen. I believed in it.
Seconds on the clock left for Malaysia. That one little ray of sunshine they had gets quickly clouded over by Ace, so they're gonna have to find a significant pick.
No, it's about I don't know. Fix yourself. Fix yourself.
And
Big trans. I think the trans is. Yep, there we go. We got the touch. Luminos is probably dead though. Wait a second.
JW3 down to Ace to the poison trap. In fact,
Already close to train. Well, not close to train, but already getting a lot of ult charge for trans again. Damn. If they would have gotten a kill off on the Calbun, that would have been winnable. But it didn't end up happening.
That's not a whole lot of distance for Thailand.
Poly made sure not to let that happen.
No. Not at all, which is why I was saying, you know, for Malaysia, pretty good that they got the A point in general, but they're going to need a little bit more than that. We heard the ace shot.
This is rough. This is rough.
And not a lot of challenges. Once JW3 got off the Widowmaker, the Tracer wasn't going to do a lot on the attack.
Just really enjoying.
We have no game audio.
There it is! Yeah! Does the duck have a name?
Port Hercules is the name.
Port Hercules.
Port Hercules is the duck's name.
Actually.
Yeah. Do you know how much it costs to, I don't think this is the correct term, park your boat in Port Hercules?
More is the term you're looking for. I imagine there's like a minimum, like $1 million or something.
$1 million a day?
Probably, I don't know, some ridiculous number. Like I guarantee
it's at least a couple thousand a day. I know that like being able to like park your boat in ports and stuff, like really busy ones, it's stupid expensive. It's crazy expensive. So if somebody's parking their shit there, you know they rich as fuck. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. But honestly, like owning a big boat in general, like that's kind of like rich people shit, honestly.
A day.
That's been rich people shit for a minute.
Like if there's things happening on, such as, for example, whatever this race is that's been going on for a long time, or a fight
between. If there is a fight, I imagine it would be very expensive.
A fight between almost the exact same heroes, but we do see a Sombra on board.
Malaysia had to give up a lot of space there.
I suppose, but yeah. And slow push here for Thailand to start things off. Again, only about halfway through B they need to get, looking very achievable if they can get a quick...
Sniper duel's gonna be a little hard for Malaysia, since they just have the Hanzo. Oh my god, Ace.
Fantastic from Ace.
Sombra didn't even come out of Invis. She was trying to hack Ace. What the fuck? That was insane. Now Malaysia has to defend this
Which one of those
for 5 minutes and 20 seconds. That's insane.
And you're looking at Ace play this here, it's like it doesn't feel like Widow's been nerfed at all. It's trying to get us. It's solo pushing. Malaysia's trying to get us.
The nerf barely applies in most situations.
Somebody tell Malaysia that this game is not going to go to C.
Yeah, this is going to be a long one here. Fantasy already down. It's looking pretty rough for Malaysia.
Oh my god. Chad, it's over. It's over. The dream is over. It's done for. Nothing to be done. Nothing to be done about it.
Not going to find that one. Does find it with the alternate fire. He'll take it. Oh!
Oh my god. Ace brutalized the hell out of them on the Widow there.
I mean, Ace just he turned that into the Ace show.
Ace destroyed them there at last point. They should have kept the double sniper, because that kept Ace in check at least a little bit. I think the swap on the Sombra wasn't very good.
He's not real. Interesting that ends up being play of the game when Ace got like a million headshots.
No, the game likes ultimates.
It does like an ultimate.
So if you use ultimate, the game likes you a lot. But yeah, Thailand 2-0 victory as expected. I think the only real couple hurdles
that was crazy.
Single fight loss on Nepal Shrine, the loss of point A on circuit. That's about it. But Thailand just got themselves a bit of extended gameplay. They camp A and then just keep pushing on through. Ace is continuing. He's long-range spawn camping, if that's even a thing. It basically is, given how deadly he was, just firing upon everyone walking out.
Ace was having an incredible game. There's nothing really else
crazy stuff.
Say, I feel like just watch him get shot after shot.
Yeah, that was absolutely brutal.
Well done to Thailand there, a clean 2-0 on the board.
And this is a really comfortable place for Thailand to be right now, right? That's they already had a good.
Thailand's a good team.
In spite of the loss, this is
they look good.
Result we should see.
Ace in particular, Ace is really good at the Widow.
Painting by the numbers.
So if you pick the Circuit Royale, Ace is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
When you consider their overall tournament life, they kind of got the hardest.
I really do think that
but they're in good form. They should feel.
I think it was Joe. Joe was on the Widow. But I really think that Joe's Widow did a good job against for Ace against Ace for a minute there. You know, I think that Ace is better at the end of the day, but I don't think that Joe was too bad. Honestly, I don't think Joe was too bad.
Clearly, might be Thailand versus India to decide who makes it. I mean, India versus Australia will still be a game that's important. They might even be
crazy stuff. Look at these games. Look at these games that happened today, chat. Look at the scores.
Thailand having that 2-1 against Australia could be a little bit of a difference.
Crazy stuff.
And if we look at today's overall wins, we can see it was a 2-0 across the board as was predicted. India, Australia, and Thailand all taking the wins out today. Well done to each of those teams.
Yeah, super well done.
They all had fairly maybe easy games, except the India-New Zealand one. I think New Zealand put up a bit of a fight there. But
yeah, it was pretty close. You know, it was a 2-0 between India and New Zealand, but New Zealand was not bad. New Zealand contested them. New Zealand put up a fight. It was a good game.
You know, the result speaks for itself,
and I think that, like, New Zealand on a good day could beat India. Legit. I think that New Zealand could beat India.
Indeed, that top 3
on a good day.
The scope is very much set now for this tournament. We know exactly who our top 3 are, exactly who our bottom 3 are. It's going to be a tough ask for any of that bottom 3 to dislodge one of the top 3. Really, it's starting to look like a scrap between those 3 teams.
New Zealand's going to have a rough time coming back, but I think it's doable. I don't think Malaysia's got it, but New Zealand has a chance of coming back to the top 3. It's going to be New Zealand and Thailand for the top 3. Who's going to make it there, you know?
Thailand are sitting pretty up the top there, and will be 3 favorites.
Yeah, I think you had the top 4 as noted pre-tournament, but also the top 3 is now starting to form, with New Zealand being cut out of that, and eventually will out of those top looking like any 2 of the 3 possibilities. So unclear as to who exactly makes it out now, but it's exciting that it's at least at minimum a 3-horse race.
Exactly.
All right, let's take a look at our
good stuff,
play
chat.
of the day for today's game.
Oh shit!
And
play of the day.
Is going to be
yeah, this was a big play. Good play from Color Hex.
Changed over to them. They copied over.
Super valid play of the day.
Getting that point.
Very nice Blizzard in that particular fight, and one of the stronger plays. I mean, one of the things we remarked about New Zealand is that they sort of live and die by Color Hex right now.
They do.
Which isn't to discredit the other players. It's more that Color Hex is really solid when he's on form. When he's not quite able to hold his own against the opponents, that's when things start to unravel a bit for New Zealand. They don't quite have the depth in the roster compared to the other teams. Yeah, I think that's the most critical detail. Really, that speaks to how good.
Yeah, but for real though, I think that New Zealand has a legit chance of getting into that top 3 and making it past the region.
A week now for the rest of until the rest of this tournament, there is time for teams to go away, turn things around, come back in slightly better form. So as much as the standings are starting to look quite settled, there's still a lot of time left in this tournament to turn things around and upset.
Can still turn things around. For sure.
Malaysia, New Zealand
Why did that part
basically
get muted?
won the remainder of games,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, they have to play against each other, which means only one of them can. As I mentioned, you'd need at least like a 3-2 scoreline here to even have a hope, and even then you'd have to rely on some tiebreakers to go your way.
Well, we do have a lot of matches left, so let's take a look at what we've got in store. Starting on Friday next week, we'll have India versus Australia, which should be a very good match.
That's gonna be a good
I think
match.
a close, tough game, so I'm very excited for that one. Then we have Malaysia versus New Zealand, followed by Thailand versus Singapore at the end. Some good.
Gonna be
maps,
some
some
good
matchups.
ass matches.
That
Friday.
first one is pretty interesting insofar as you still tip Australia as the favorite. They were also able to beat out Thailand. What you're really looking for there is how good to India look. Because
I'm excited about that India-Australia match. I want to see that one really bad. I want to try to be there for that one, chat.
That's really the one where you get that comparative.
That's gonna be
data
really competitive.
ahead
It's gonna be
of
awesome.
What will probably be the decider for the second seed, and also as we kind of remarked there as well, New Zealand versus Malaysia. That's a do or die. Whoever loses that does not have a pathway out of this group stage anymore.
Absolutely, yeah. Two really important games there. Then Thailand versus Singapore, who at this stage, with their 3 losses, they'll be fighting for, you know, at least a little bit of prestige and some reputation there to hopefully bring it back a little bit. Try and be.
If we aren't able to catch it live, chat, we'll at least catch it like after the fact.
Weekend, we'll be back
Because that looks like it's going to be a really good
with
game.
some more games, and to see who makes it in the top 2 and out of the online qualifiers. Catch you all then.
All right, chat. Well, chat, we're gonna be back in, what, 2 hours? Look at the schedule one more time. Schedule. Yeah, so we're gonna be back in, about an hour and a half, chat. And we're gonna be seeing Indonesia versus Japan. That's gonna be epic. That's gonna be epic. Wow, only 2 games and then you get another break. Okay, not much. Alright, chat. Well, I'm gonna end stream here and we're gonna be back in an hour and a half about. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy the content, be sure to drop a follow. Type exclamation point socials in chat, and that's gonna give you a link to my socials, such as my YouTube, my TikTok, my Twitter, my Twitch, which is what we're currently live on, my Discord, all that good stuff. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.